All right, there you go. Cross Your Bow Podcast, episode 49. Open that book, baby. Now it is in. Chaos Machine is my guest this week. You guys can find him over at ChaosMachineGR on the Twitter and twitch.tv/ChaosMachineGR here in the Twitch world. Of course, you guys know who I am. I'm SirVenomIK. Salutes, my friends. How you doing? If you guys are over on the YouTube channel, twitch.tv/SirVenomIK. If you guys want to come in and have a live conversation whenever I'm live, and at Sir_Venom_IK over on the Twitter. If you guys want to ask me questions, when I'm not streaming. So, either way, the first thing I gotta say, man, Chaos Machine, thank you for doing the podcast. I know we tried to get it done last month. But my internet was not working out, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day since you just got off of doing a show for several hours, and I appreciate you staying up a little bit longer to come chat with me, man.
Yeah, of course, it's my pleasure, man. You know that.
Absolutely. So Chaos, what you been working on this week, bro?
On this week, well, definitely I read all the news about DevBlock. We test the ships as you know. I work definitely on Yashima and iGear.
Mm-hmm.
But I love iGear a lot. Some people say the iGear is not very good ship. It's a heavy tier 9 cruiser, okay. They speak about the armor, but I prove to the people every battle 2 point plus potential damage.
Right.
Nice damage, 100 plus is definitely okay. Some battles it's okay. If you are not lucky, if you didn't pay so much attention on minimap, ship happens. And I read a lot of the developer blog news. It's very, very interesting.
We'll get into some of the dev blog news here in a minute, but yeah, I've played through the Yashima and I played through the Aegir, and actually, I was actually enjoying it. I don't usually enjoy testing boats. I just don't do it. I just don't like doing them a lot. But Aegir was one that the chat was like, "Oh, play this thing," and I was like, "Okay." So I played it, and I was pretty impressed. With the guns, the damage seemed like it was doing all right. The tank was okay. I got punished when I was supposed to get punished. It's still German, so you do take some of those wonky pin angles like the Hipper does. But the AA is pretty good. The guns are 305, so you have to pick your spots and where you're going to shoot a little bit more perfect than you would in, say, a battleship. But since it is a super cruiser, I was pretty impressed with it. Now, on the other hand, Yashima, a lot of people are going to like it, but it's personal preferences. Only having 6 guns, you get those questionable dispersions to where you look like a number 4 on a dice. The little 4 pips on the side of a dice where they just come out straight up on top of each other instead of going into where you want them to go. And I do see that a lot. I did see that a majority of the people that was playing with it were playing at very long range, and I think that maybe that's a mistake. Maybe we play at mid range, but the thing doesn't have very good armor. Got obliterated by a Thunderer from like 4 kilometers away, just right in the cheek for 60K. Man, it was nuts. But overall, it was okay. It's not the best boat at tier 10. It's not going to be the worst. People are going to bring it in a rank season, and they're going to be like, great, we have a Yashima player.
Yeah, because you can feel very comfortable with that huge guns. Okay, it's a Super Yamato, as you say. I feel more comfortable to play with Yami because of the number of the calibers.
You got 9 guns versus 6. And that's my frustration with double gun turret battleships. Georgia, Ohio, the Hood, the Amagi, Bismarck, Tirpitz. You can't count on that dispersion to be there when you need it. It is good, and they do hit like a truck when they hit. But I would much rather have the smaller caliber guns with 9 instead of 6, simply for the fact that there's more margin for error. So you as a player can aim where you want to aim and then not have to be perfect every time.
Exactly. Yeah, we can say that Yashima is the overmatch master.
But it was knocking the shit out of GKs through the bow and stuff like that. The only thing it can't do is knock cruisers through the bow, which is dumb.
Exactly.
But you overpin everywhere else. So, Moving forward, you've been playing some ranked. I've been watching you play some ranked. How's that going for you?
Well, thank you so much to give me this opportunity. Well, the rank season, I afraid I afraid it's a little bit like the last because of we see a lot of small elks. You take your battleship. You are afraid a little bit to pushing. Definitely depends the map you are. You know, it's fixed. The map we know the maps because they announce the maps. It's not something random like in a random mode.
The only random part about it is the buffs when they show up on the screen. You never know
Yeah,
when where they're going to spawn at. But when you do, then you can kind of figure out what to do.
exactly. Depends definitely the teams, and depends definitely what is your appetite. For example, you wake up good now. Your mind is clear. You told me now if it's don't play. Yeah, definitely yes. Depends definitely the teams and depends. You know your ship very well. You know what it does about you know the range. You know the damage of your torps. You know the behavior of your ship. This is for me. This is most important. That is the reason I play. I decide to play only with Bourgogne. I
Right.
love that ship. I know the ship, and that's it.
You know what it can do versus the other things on the boat, other things on the board. And I think after playing, see, I've been playing rank season since season 5. That was that was my season 5 was my first rank season. So that's 10 seasons ago, and I generally play destroyers when I play rank season. I think I have one rank out not on a destroyer, and that was when I had to be a dirty conch player to rank out. And that was I'm not too proud of that. But either way, for the most part, I know what boats I'm playing. I'm playing the Summers, and I'm playing the Shimakaze or Shimakaze, however you want to say it. But I've been playing those, and I know what I'm capable of versus every other DD in the game. Now that the Small Land is coming out, as soon as we get it, I'm sure I'll probably throw a couple of games in that and rank just to see how it does. Now, man, it's all about what you know you can do versus the enemy team. All right, what can you do, and then how you react to what they're doing. I think those are important. But yeah, you're right, man. I had games yesterday, man. 4 hours of the stream. Win one, lose one, all day long, dude. And I finally, right before I stopped the show, I had won 2 games in a row. After 4 hours, I went nowhere. We went nowhere yesterday, so it was very frustrating, 10, 15, 20 games or whatever of no progress at all.
6 hours and 38 minutes exactly. I play ranked battles online, and I was rank 9, rank 10. Rank 10, rank 9. Oh, what the fuck? Rank 9, rank 10. Rank 10, rank 9. I give up.
I understand.
I wake up the next morning and, it's a little bit.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, we're hanging out with Chaos Machine right now. If y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything that we're going to talk about, go ahead and @ServantOfMyK, and we will put those. I got a little sheet here. That I copy-pasted those all to, and we'll answer those questions at the end of the show so we can keep the flow going so you guys understand that. All right. Any other things happening this week for you other than being locked down in your country?
Yeah, this is a sad fact, unfortunately, and I hope, guys, definitely in my country, I speak about my country, and I hope in all countries get well soon, guys, because this is. Can you be careful what you eat there in East? Come on. Anyway, and this is about no, I play the game, streaming a lot, because this is my official job now, and I wait the time to announce this on your stream. I decided with my family, and my family support me 1,000,000%. I have their support because they told me, you like this, you can do this, because I try to find a job. the Greek guys here, unfortunately, they know what is the situation yet, unfortunately, and I decided to make this. And officially, guys, I announce you, this is my job at the moment.
There you go,
That's it.
man. He's a full-time streamer. You'll see, catch him whenever he streams. What? Tell him your stream schedule real quick.
Monday to Sunday. Mondays 5 o'clock Greek time always until 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock at midnight. Saturday and Sunday, the weekend, it's 12 o'clock in the morning.
There you go, 12 o'clock in the morning. So you go from 5 p.m. to midnight.
Yeah, exactly.
Greek time, which is, I don't know, it's 3 p.m. my time, U.S. Central Time right now, 3 p.m. So I'm assuming it's, 1 a.m. there? 1 in the morning?
Yeah, probably.
No, I don't know what time it is over there.
I don't know. Me neither. I don't know.
You got a clock there on your phone. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me what time it is.
You mean now?
Yeah. What time is it now there?
You say now? Oh, sorry. I think you asked about general. 10 o'clock exactly in 1 minute.
It's 10 o'clock p.m. there now. Okay, so he streams every day. And I tell you what, man, Chaos, I'm pretty impressed with what you've been going, man. I've been in your channels for quite a while. And I said you've really carved yourself out a piece of the own community, man. Like, it's very impressive. A place where people can come and relax, enjoy themselves, and basically have a good time, man. So take pride in what you built, bro, because you built up a really good community and a really good show, and people dig it, and I dig it too, man. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my friend. You know,
is hard work. It's hard work. It's a lot of long days. It's a lot of what can I say next? You know, streaming is such an interesting profession. I guess you would call it a profession of always having something to say. And luckily, we have it. We have an ability and a platform like Twitch, and the ability from Wargaming to be the community contributors. Who is you're an EU community contributor?
Yes.
We have content to produce out there for the masses. So it's a very good thing, and I wish you all the best in your journey of full-time streaming. It's very hard.
I know, and really thank you so much. And I don't forget, I watching you 3-4 years before, and I break your balls. I mean, sorry about that. Yeah, I break your mind. Yeah, Venom, what ship you buy? Oh, ChaosMachineGR. Buy this, okay? Buy that, and you know, I make so many questions. Yeah, you know.
Hey, man, you know what? That's the best part about it, dude. Is like when people come in and they're wanting to get better at World of Warships, and they start asking those questions. Well, what do you think about this? Or they go into some really specific detail about ships. That means they're caring about the game, and when you care about the game, then you're going to get better at the game. You're going to want to get better, and you've gotten a lot better, man. So
and look where we are now.
Yeah,
unbelievable, huh?
Unbelievable. This. I stole your line, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on in for a little bit of news. The Small Land is available now today for 2 million free XP. What do you think of the Small Land?
Well, it's a nice store boat. The guns, it's decent. Not bad, 120mm guns. The reload, it's nice. The secret to get of that boat, it's not the radar, it's the torps.
Oh yeah.
The torps, it's 10,700 if I remember well. The alpha damage.
It's very
not a lot. Yeah, it's very low. Unfortunately, you don't have smoke. Unfortunately, once you are not very quick, like the French ones or like the Russian ones, because they don't have smoke, the French ones, and they can dodge or they can avoid tops, or they can avoid the enemy shells, the enemy fires, you know. That is the reason, in my opinion, guys, it's you must play like a very tiny cruiser. You must play very carefully and sneaky. Because the torps, it's very quick, and you must play very carefully. You can support your team, but you don't have smoke, unfortunately. That is my opinion. For all pan-EU, definitely.
They do have some pretty decent detection
Yeah.
for what they are, but they
Yeah.
are relatively slow compared. I think they max out at what 32 to 35. I'm not don't quote me on it because I'm not entirely sure and I don't have the information looking at me right now. But I'm not quite sure how fast they go, but they are relatively slow. But these torpedoes, man, they go 76 knots, I believe. Yeah, 76 knots, which is ridiculous. And then you'll put on you won't put on torpedo accelerator, but you'll put on the torpedo module in your third slot to make them go a little bit faster, so you can get them over 80. Or pretty close to 80, 80 knot torpedoes, and they reload relatively quickly as well. This thing has 420 millimeter main guns with a reload time of 1.7 seconds. It's stupid. It's stupid fast. Think Friesland, if for anybody who doesn't know. You have 8 torpedoes with a 12-kilometer range. It's 76 knots. Low maximum damage. The ship has one quintuple tube and one triple tube. So you have 7, 5. You have a set of 5 torps and a set of 3 torps on each on the launchers. Then engine boost consumable is 30%. Give you 30% speed increase for about 60 seconds. When you do hit this, you can hit up to 45.5 knots. So it can go fast when you have it's very slow without it and very fast with you have your.
And don't forget the torpedo tubes modification 1, the third upgrade. You take 5 plus 5% speed.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Defensive AA consumable is replaced by surveillance radar, so it does not have a defensive AA, and the action time is 20 seconds and is capable of detecting ships at a distance of 7.5 kilometers. Now, honestly, I'll be honest with you, Chaos Machine, I don't like the radar on this one. The guns are very small, and they just kind of mosquito bite you to death. If you can get broadsides on people, they do very well. But you only have 4 guns on 2 turrets, so you got a front and a back gun. So you have to give up quite a bit. These are 360-degree turrets, so you can get some pretty decent angles on these to fire them going forward. You can do very well in that, but I don't think people should play around the radar. I think you're right. They should play around the torpedoes, playing back mid-range. You don't have to be right up on everybody to play the small end. I mean, you can play them mid-range. Maybe 8 to 10 kilometers or so. That's what I consider mid-range for a DD. You don't have to be in the 4 and 5, 6 kilometer range and still be effective because you're fast torps.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, my gameplay style to testing, as I say, I'm not a main DD player. I play only with my torps, and if I find a nice opportunity, for example, a smoke, for the enemy or for my guy, it's a very nice Daka thingy. Okay, but that's it. If the Pan-European destroyers is about 42 knots without speed boost and without Sierra Mike, I say yes, you can play very comfortable because of the speed. But the maximum speed with speed boost and Sierra Mike, it's almost 40 knots. It's a little bit dangerous.
Yeah. Well, we're talking
It's
about
not,
the
it's not
the
bad.
entire.
It's not bad.
He's talking about the entire line, not just the small line, but the whole line is coming out, and that there's a nice little segue into our next little bit. The early access European destroyers early access is today, because today is the 9.2 release. And you guys have the chance to get the Visby with tier 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 by doing directives and getting containers, which you can get the pan-European tokens, and then you can unlock the next thing, I believe. And then Holland, which will become in 9.3, which is the tier 10, which I think is the better of these two boats out of the small end versus the Holland. I think the Holland is actually better. It's just more geared toward DD survival with that AA button.
Yeah, I can't wait about Holland. And I didn't test it, but I think it's gonna be a super Simakas, if I can say that.
I tested it, and it's got 10 torpedoes on the side that go 80 something knots, 80 whatever the tier 9 torpedo speed is. It's the same as the tier 10, and it goes 15 kilometers. and it's fantastic. It has AA on it. I was telling the chat earlier today that the AA on this is not tied into continuous damage. This AA is tied very heavily into those flak bursts. So if you hit flak bursts, I've taken out entire 12-man squadrons from a midway during the testing phase. So one flak burst knocks the ever-living shit out of these planes, which is very good, which is something that we need. We need DDs to have some freaking AA. Now, how good will this be in rank season? Well, anytime you see a CV out there, this is could be a good choice. Smallland, Holland, or wherever else, man. These things have decent enough AA to where you can actually feel like you're defending yourself.
We must prepare about the new. We discuss about later, definitely about AP rockets and the tier 10 premium CV. The name it's I forgot it.
The new
Roosevelt.
Oh yeah, the Roosevelt, man. Yeah, that's
Gonna be massive.
Yeah, it's gonna be a joke, man. I honestly, man, the way that I feel. What do you think about CVs in the game currently?
Look, I speak honest. Okay, I don't like it a lot, because I want to enjoy my DD. You tell me now, yes, it's not fair for the other team because if you don't have carriers, they can't how call it? They can't
Dominate.
Dominate, or they can fuck. I'm stuck, man. No control. No. They can spot the destroyer.
Oh.
Yes, guys. Let's face it. Let's say if a tier 10 battle, we don't have carriers in matchmaking. You gonna cry? No. You're gonna play. And the same reason is if you find a carrier in matchmaking, you try to play. But if you are not main DD player, or if you don't have so much experience, you're gonna kaput in 2 minutes and 3 minutes. Midway special, midway. Wow. I don't know. It's, for me, one idea, it's my humble opinion. Make a separate mode with carriers, or we're gonna expect now the submarines.
Yeah. Wow, that's a whole nother ball of fucking goo that I don't want to even touch right now. I have concerns about submarines, but I don't know, man. I think the biggest issue
We'll see.
with I think the biggest issue that I have with carriers currently is the fact that you have to, with only one carrier, Chaos.
Yeah.
11 other players on your team have to adjust what they do around that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sorry, but that's not really fair to the 11 other guys. What happened to the point where, hey, I want to go play my game, I want to go play however I want to, and then die on my own merit? I don't mind dying. And I know, Chaos, you go in there and you die whenever you feel like you need to make pushes or whatever, but you died on your own terms. And not, I have to play around this guy. Me as a destroyer, I have to sit back next to a cruiser just to cover myself with AA. Now that's a catch-22. That means damned if you do, damned if you don't here. Simply for the fact that if I don't go out there and spot, and I don't go out there and cap, or I cannot go out there and spot and cap, then we lose because they have free access to the caps. We're giving up map position based on being so far back with the carriers involved. So they are literally controlling the game just by being in the game, and I think it's a little bit too much.
Look, it's, I think the company tries to make the game more realistic about. In real life, we have CVs, we have destroyers, we have battleships, we have cruisers. Okay, yes, I agree. The thing is, after the rework, it's more easy to play the carriers. You remember, because you are
absolutely.
You remember it's very, very difficult to learn the CVs. It's wow, I didn't touch it, never. Okay, I don't have problem with CVs, but I don't like to die very, very fast in battle. I remember with the old, before the rework, you can survive more easy. Now, because it's more like to play the card, it's like a PlayStation. It's more easy. It's like a first person shooter, something like that.
Right.
You can control more easy the carriers. I don't know. I can say let's make more strong the AAs to keep some balance. I don't know. I don't know what can I say.
I agree with that. I mean, they need to do something with AA. Now, I know a lot of people are sitting there and they want just immunity button. They want to be able to shoot down everything that comes at them. Fuck that CV. That's their kind of attitude, and I have that attitude a little bit. But I also understand that the CV's out there and he does need to get damage, but I want him to get fair damage. I want him to get fair damage. Now, it seems to me it's fair pretty much on every class except for destroyers. You know, those rocket planes are ridiculous. The AP bombs, they're stupid. They don't need to be there. I mean, they do 20, 30,000 damage to a quote-unquote AA cruiser that has set up for full AA, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, like I was playing a Worcester in a game, and I have it set up for full AA. We're talking BFT because AFT is worthless, and manual AA is worthless now, especially on highly deals. And I shoot down one plane, he drops me for 20K. He makes a turn, comes back in. This is playing against a hack, by the way. Turns around, I shoot down one more plane, comes in, and he knocks me down for another 20K. And I'm like, I didn't shoot it. He was literally in my AA range the entire time. I was using the buffs, using the little, push the O button or whatever to sector that thing. And I didn't do enough. It didn't do enough. And at some point in time where last night in our there was a midway in our game, he floated around four of us, guys, and did not lose one fucking plane after floating around four of us, and then was still able to get in on a fucking run and drop for 20, 30,000 damage. Or, well, you get the point. He was able to drop his fucking load. So even if I do go and sit back with my team, it's not good enough. I think the ranges on it are kind of dumb, being at 5.8 on a lot of them. Some of them have 6 kilometers. There's a boat that they released after the CV rework, the Summers, that has 6 AA. That's it, just 6. Now, why would they release something like this knowing that it's just going to get hammered? I don't know.
Yeah. Look, as I say, I don't have problem to see CV in game, definitely, because I like a lot of informations in game. I mean, a lot of things. They must do something, and please don't put carriers in competitive modes.
Yeah. Carriers in rank season, carriers in clan battles. It's all a joke. Speaking
I don't like it.
Speaking of rank season, the next rank season that they announced was a rank sprint, which is tier 9 and tier 10 with CVs in arms race. So now you have tier 9 and tier 10 plus CVs plus arms race, where the planes after I believe it was 2 to 3 heals become pretty much you can't shoot them down. And it's this rank sprint, and it's 12v12. So basically we're playing randoms for stars now.
Can I pick up the phone, please?
Yeah, sure. Take your time.
It's emergency.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, we're gonna take a real quick break here as he is on the phone. He's going upstairs. He is going upstairs, especially with the heal buff. CV planes are immune in ranked. We'll figure out what's going on with home slice here in just a minute. So we'll just keep on chatting, man. I've been good. Just been ready for spring break. We'll talk to the chat here a little bit. Are we gonna cry? No, we're going to play. Yeah, that's right, man. I tell you what, though, how many of you guys out there have been going on in the tier 6, the tier 8, and seeing the double and triple CVs? I know you see them in tier 6 every once in a while, not too often. You see them in tier 4 quite a bit. And how many of those guys do y'all want to just turn off the game? Just like literally sit there, leave to the port. So I don't know. What up, Aatrox? How you doing, big guy? It's good to see you, man. Always good to see you. I saw Mo Like It in there earlier. 100% nuts and bolts wants to just leave the game. I do. I mean, I'll play it, but I'm not gonna enjoy that fucking game. That's for sure. Yo, what up, Dirt 813? How you doing? You try to troll him? How you trolling CVs, Dirt? Hey, my motherfucking Dirt right here.
Man, is anybody out there playing the game? What the hell are y'all doing?
That's my motherfucker. That's fucking Dirt right there. Anybody out there playing the game? What the hell y'all doing? Hell yeah. 3 CVs per side is something that never should have been. Even more at low tier. The ships have no AA. I agree. I am good with tier 8 CVs while I am in the Kitakaze. Yeah, I'm going to troll 1 OP subs hit the scene. Yeah, subs are going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting dynamic where, I've said this on multiple occasions of how the people that are playing the game, where are their loyalties, right? You have all these battleship players, you have all these cruiser players and DD players, and you have a couple of carrier players. The people that are playing destroyers when the CV rework came out, those people stopped playing destroyers and went to play carriers. I'm seeing a lot of people that I would usually fight in this last rank season or in this current rank season that would usually be in destroyers. Vardasan, Edge Case, these two particular, because they just happened to be in my games last night. Good players in destroyers, pretty good players all over the place, but they are playing carriers now. So when something new comes out, you don't pull from the pool of battleship players. You don't get them from the pool of cruiser players. You get them from the pool of destroyer players. Destroyer players right now have to be some of they are the most important ship on the board, I think, and is good for them to be the most important. So who knows what happens with subs? Do we think subs are going to come in and they're going to pull people from the battleships? No. The people that are playing DDs right now, they're going to stop that, and they're going to go over and play submarines when they come out. Can't hear you, man. You got your mic muted.
Humble apologize.
No worries, man. Life happens, bro. I get it. All right. So either way, what were we talking about? I don't even remember.
We speak about CVs.
We speak about the rank season. That's right. We're moving into the next the rank sprint. It's a 12v12, tier 9 and tier 10 arms race with carriers. Now this will be fine because they're going to be ding dongs. It's a 12v12. First of all, it's not really a rank season if it's 12v12. I don't like it, but I do understand why they're doing this. I think, and I said it a couple of months ago, I think that arms race is ready to go into the main rotation of the game. Mm-hmm, yeah. I honestly think that it's ready to go into the main rotation of the game to give us a little bit of break from that boring, slow-ass standard battle. We have Epicenter, we have Domination, and then we have Standard Battle. Now, this gives us a fourth game mode to kind of break up the monotony of what we've had in random games. And I think it's a good thing. I wish they hadn't done it in a ranked format. And they have not said if we're going to keep all our stars or if we're going to, top loser gets stars or whatever. We have not seen that yet. So what do you think about this next ranked sprint coming up?
Well, we must consider it's about, I can say it's a random mode because it's 12 versus 12. Okay. It's more difficult to take the rewards. Why? Why? Because it depends on the teams again. Not because of the carriers. It's definitely it's about the players. Definitely it's about what map you're gonna play. It's arms race because arms race it's nice opportunity. We're gonna see a lot of nice battles because you take the buffs, you take the points. For example, it's 4 versus 7, and the 4 players they can take the battle. Because of the buffs or because of the time. It's going to be interesting, in my opinion. It's going to be very interesting. We'll see. I'm satisfied about that, to be honest, because it's a lot of players. Mm-hmm. The 1 versus 1, if you remember it, it's okay. It's very fun.
Oh, very
I
fun.
hope to see that again.
Yeah, I hope to see that. I enjoyed that. I did it twice, actually. I did it on my main account, and I have a Steam account also. But I used the Prince Eugene the whole time, so...
Let me find it. Spring 10, 74 battles, 76.6 rate. It's not about the rate. No, it's not about the stats. It's about if it finishes very fast. But in this rank sprint, probably if you want to finish rank 1,
it's a rank
gonna be
sprint,
long.
so it depends on how many stars. If it's like 10 stars, fine, whatever. Or if 10 ranks, then yeah, you'll probably push through it pretty quickly. You're gonna find some teams that are very fucking bad, and then you're gonna find some of the teams that are very fucking good. And those good guys are gonna be talking with each other. Some clanmates end up queuing together. Now they frown upon it. But they can't stop people from sync dropping. But then there's also divisions in these battles. I believe rank sprints have always had divs, and if that's the case, then you can kind of tailor you in another boat. It's like me. I would probably still play the destroyer. Which one will I play? I don't know yet. It depends on how comfortable I get playing the Holland, or am I going to revert to something like the Friesland and just for the anti-air? I probably not, because I want those torpedoes, but I know other people will. It's like myself. I'm sure I'll probably end up playing with Fitz and your mom, or I'll play with some of the other guys from the chat, and we will tailor our division to best benefit each other. So he might play a battleship, I might play a destroyer, I might play a cruiser, and he might play a destroyer. Whatever, we might play 2 DDs. It doesn't matter. But there's going to be something. There's going to be some coordination between this if it is divisionable, and they have not said if it's divisionable or not. But if it is, then I'm all for this. It's just going to be another fun deal. You're going to have a whole lot of divisions going together. You'll probably rank out pretty quick. There's going to be some people frustrated, but it happens.
Yeah, and what I want to say, I forgot it one. I don't know. Probably because it's a 12 players. Probably we're gonna see a full division, definitely, because it's a high amount. The matchmaking is with 12 players. Do you think we'll
see a 3-man division for ranked?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
in my
opinion,
even
better. That'd be even better, man. I can't, dude. That gives me kind of a hard on, man. Like, seriously, dude. If we could play 3-man divisions in ranked, that's 12v12. That's a good fucking idea. Y'all heard it here first. 3-man divisions in ranked 12v12s. So that means I have to find a third player, because I know Fitz will want to play. And I'm sure Mo and Tam and DWO or somebody else, they'll probably go play together. And but I had to find my third one, man. If I could get Swole back on, Mr. Swole, shit, dude. He comes, we're doing ranked. You need to be here for the next week. We're doing ranked.
You're gonna make me buy a premium ship to play together. High tier,
Yeah. It's 9 and 10, man. So 9 and 10. 9 and 10 is a pretty good set of tiers for ranked. Well, I personally like 9 better because there's no CV in that tier. But there's good boats that do very well in ranked. The Z46 is fucking phenomenal. 52 is good. Benham is not good. I don't care what anybody says. Benham is not good for ranked. You don't have the guns to defend yourself against.
Only torps.
Only torps. But since this is a 12v12, Benham becomes more powerful. Benham becomes stronger because you will have several DDs. You're not just going to be the only DD like you do see now, where there's only one DD games, and Benham by himself is terrible. But yeah, Benham's going to be great. Pretty much anything on the board, anything you want to play is going to be fine during this 12v12 sprint.
The concealment is very, very decent with the upgrade and the captain skill. It's 5.9. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm. It's not bad at all.
Okay, but I agree about the guns. It's not for the competitive, especially it's
Agreed. It's
very nice.
It is a random king. It's a random monster, man. But for ranked season, they're in the single 7v7s or whatever. It's not good. But for 12v12, it's gonna be god tier.
It's fucking awesome turn boat, by the way.
Yeah. So there's that. And as for 10, well, we've been playing nothing but 10s for the last ungodly amount of ranked seasons, and it's wearing on my soul. I'm getting tired of playing tier 10. And the clan battles is all tier 10. Ranked seasons tier 10. They do tier 10 in every other aspect of this game, and it's very old. And I'm ready to say, drop it down to tier 6. Let's go play tier 6, tier 6 and 7. Let's go play tier 8. It's about that time for them to rotate that rank season back around from 10 again.
Yeah, I hope to see in the future more low tiers, 6s, 7 and 8. In game we can find awesome and very competitive ships. Also.
Yeah.
Nice guns.
I think much past tier 6, I don't think the rank season works very well. Tier 5 is okay. We did a couple of rank sprints in tier 5, and that was okay. But rank 4, I don't think rank 4 is good enough. The 3, 2, and 1, they're just a joke for nobody plays those anyway. So
Yeah.
So there it is. All right. What do you think? How do you think this rank season is going? Do you think this is a successful rank season for people? Do you think it's a successful, enjoyable rank season for everybody? I mean, minus yourself.
Look, as I say about a lot of people complain about Smolensk. You know,
Yeah,
you have a battleship. You're going to play your Yami Yamato. The you know.
Yeah.
It's Kurfürst, the monster of armor. And you see the matchmaking. Oh no! And you see the Smolensky start to syndicate you, and you say, "Oh shit, I must be undetected." But you are detected because of the a destroyer is near to you. If you don't find destroyers, it's okay. Or if you find a carrier against you. It's a little bit complicated. So far, I break my my record. I play the most 160. I don't remember how many battles I am in rank 5, and I'm 50-50. I don't say I'm not happy, and I can say I'm happy. I don't know. I feel a little bit, but the people, it's a little bit frustrating about the Smolensky. They told me we don't mind the carriers, but Smolensk, I don't know.
See, man, I'm the complete opposite, brother. I don't mind the Smolensks because I can deal with them. I can't defend myself versus carriers. So I think I went 12-8 the other day, or 13-8 the other day, and made it to 4.4. And I had 2 carrier games all that night, and it was so much of an enjoyable, even with my teams being bad, or some of the teams just being stupid and not doing what they need to do. I didn't care. It didn't matter because there was no carrier to fuck me up. Last night I had a lot of carrier games, and it was up one, down one, and it was so frustrated. And it had nothing to do with the bad teams. It was just the fact that the carriers was there, hounding me every fucking second of the game. They come in, bring their planes across the map. I'm spotted within a minute, and so I'm sitting back. I'm not able to do anything, and it's very frustrating.
I have visitors. It's,
Hey.
This is my best friends in real life.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Hey, what happened to the quarantine, man?
Hello, guys.
Hello, guys.
Hello, guys.
About the quarantine, σας ήρθε μήνυμα στο... Yeah, it's scary. It's scary, But we'll see.
Everybody's waving at him. Hello. Hello, guys. Hello, guys.
This is the incredible thing in live, podcast. You never know what happened.
Never know what happens. There you go, man. Okay, so let's move on into the next bit. A new port is out there for all you beautiful people. It's called Fjords, or the what?
Kisses.
Kisses. Tell him Happy Malakas Day. I don't know.
Happy Malakas Day. Fuck me. Unbelievable this.
So we got Fjords is the new port. Looks pretty good. What do you think about this port? Everybody was in that port when they log in today with the 9.2 update. Pretty good. I mean, I'll look at it for a little bit, and then I'll immediately turn it back to whatever my port is that I usually roll. What do you think? Do you like this port?
Can you make again the question?
The new port that showed up today, the Fjords port.
I see the pictures. Look, on that case, a big good job to the well done about that. We have new ports, or we need some more ports. I hope to see more ports in the future, or new maps. We need more new maps.
We need new maps, new game modes. I think new game
Yeah,
modes
yeah.
is the thing, and I think that they're finally getting to the point where they've run out of ideas to throw into the game ship wise. Everything has their fucking everything has their damn gimmick, good gimmick or bad gimmick. But we have a lot of people want less islands. They want more open areas. I think I kind of like the islands. I mean, that's just my play style. I don't mind the islands. I think that some of the maps that they had before, Ocean, needs to come back into more rotation. Because if they want no islands, there's a no fucking island map right there. Ocean was, I really enjoyed that map. A lot of people hated it, but I loved it. I
In
definitely
the ocean,
hated
you
it.
prove your skills.
Yeah, I definitely hated it when I was playing my Atlanta in the Ocean, but I still had like one of my best damage games ever in the Atlanta on that map because I was humping smoke. I was going from smoke to smoke to
Atlanta.
smoke. Yeah, 13.3 kilometer detection range. I was up in them caps with them DDs.
You have cojones.
Yeah, well, that was it. What else am I gonna do? My name is not Aatrox, man, and I can't open water Atlanta like he can, man. But as for the rest of the game, what do you think the state of the game is right now? Do you think that the game is in a good place? Do you think that they're making mistakes somewhere? Do you think that there's areas that they need to improve in?
Look, what can I say? Because they change a lot of things. Every patch they change some things, and the next patch they change more things. I'm a little bit confused about that, if they are good or not. But so far, because I have small experience, I didn't stay to study, for example, the IFHE, how it works. I press the button on my computer, I play the game, and that's it.
Yeah.
After the October, the Wargaming give me the Wargaming the CC status. Sorry.
You earned that shit. They didn't just give it to you.
Yeah, thank you about that. I can tell you the story later if you want.
That's fine.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel good.
You feel the game is in a good place?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I don't like some changes. For example, about why they changed the NRE. No.
Now they
Why?
said, and I actually got into this with one of the devs, and non-NDA channel, so it's definitely repeatable. But they said that I asked, I was like, okay, well, I see that you're making this change. Why is this change? Do y'all feel it necessary? And they was very gracious, and they said we did not think that it was right for a boat to hit W and S to be able to dodge shots, and that was it. That's all you had to do with your engine boost up. You hit W, you dodge shots. You hit S, you dodge shots. And I said, okay, that's all fair and good, but what about the Des Moines Legendary mod? That's the essential same idea. And so how is this idea good here and not over there? And then they replied with, you haven't played the Henry in 4 months, is that right? And I was like, what does that matter? Answer the question, what's the difference? So it's very interesting. It's very interesting how they do one thing for a boat and have their reasoning one way, and then immediately turn around and do it another way for a different set of boats. There's no logistical flow to it. That doesn't make sense to me on a lot of that. But as for
the thing is,
go ahead.
The thing is, they listen us. This is a good thing, in my opinion. That is the reason I say I'm happy about the way. I love to see new things in game because the company wants to the players to not boring, and they prove it every patch. Let's face it. I'm very happy about that. New lines, new stuff, new maps. I'm happy about that. I'm very happy about that. I think it's good. In my opinion, I'm not afraid, and I'm very positive for the future of the game.
I am as well. I know a lot of people come into my channel when I'm on a rant or something, and they think that I'm just a real negative guy about the game. The only reason I get as passionate as I do is because I care about the game. I've been playing this game for a very long time. I've seen what it was. I've seen what's kind of molded into, and I don't think I appreciate what it's molded into too much. There's some things, and getting back to their logic. Now I'm gonna. They released information on an Italian battleship that has SAP, an Italian SAP, and I said this was not a good idea. Like immediately, it's not a good idea in my book, and here's the reason why.
You mean about the new battleship, huh?
Yeah, the new Italian battleship that has SAP, right? Okay, so back 2 years ago, right before it was this same podcast that I was talking with Citizen S9 on. It was episode 6. It was Battleship AP changes. This is where they took the AP from doing full pins straight down to overpinning only, or getting overpinning damage, right? So you would get, on the whatever, it doesn't matter, 1,500 damage instead of, doing the full pin damage that you would normally do. So what they did with that, they set a precedent of saying, we did not feel that the Battleship AP battleships should do that much damage, to their natural counter. In this world of battleships over cruisers, cruisers over destroyers, destroyers over battleships, we want the battleships to be a little bit weaker versus their counter. And I said, okay, that's fair. Well, then they come out with the SAP Italian battleship, and I'm like, now wait a second, hold on, wait, pump the brakes here, because now you're giving the ability of that battleship to dominate that fucking destroyer again, and this was against your rules. This is the reason why you had this change to begin with. And some of the responses that I got were, can we not test this out? I was like, no, because we already see what SAP does from the cruisers and what it does against the destroyers. This is a terrible idea, and y'all are going back against anything that you guys had said before. Now, two things popped in my head. Well, what do you think about that statement first? And then I'll tell you two things that popped into my head after I heard this.
About SAP cells, yes. Okay, we know already it's in era life because I searched it before. And I say, okay, it's something new, something very interesting. I know the SAP cells, if you face any Italian cruiser, you say, oh no, but it's something new. And some people, they like it. For example, I love the Venezia. I love the Venezia very much. I can face the Kremlin. Definitely, you must play very carefully. The Venezia, for me, it's the most maneuverable ship in game.
The Italian cruiser line and the Roma and the Giulio Caesar are very maneuverable. They turn very, very well.
Yeah. I'm happy to see this Italian line, and happy to see the SAP cells. The people, they like it. About now the battleship, it's very interesting. I can't wait to see that ship on my hands because I love the battleships. How call it? It's very interesting to see the SAP cells on battleship. I like it a lot, really. I like it a lot. I like it. First of all, I must play with it.
Yeah,
and
obviously.
It's very, very interesting, the smoke.
It's smoke battleship. That's something that we popped off with several years ago. It's like, why don't we have a line full of smoking battleships? Well, now it looks like we're going to get this line via the Italian ships. I just don't like the fact that they nutted the battleship AP versus destroyers so much. Now they're going to give it back in SAP, and the only thing that they could say to me is like, well, it has a 33-second reload. It should be good enough with 33 seconds. I'm like, dude, do you not understand? This is exactly the same shit that we had before with Battleship AP pre-nerf, when there's boats at tier 6 that have 34-second reloads. It's exactly the same thing, and have gone back to the past, days of future past, and they saw that it was broken there. So I say right now, if you're going to change this and bring SAP in there, make Battleship AP great again. Make it to where it knocks people's dicks in the dirt. Make it to where this guy is hurting. You're leaving it one particular ship that we already saw that it wasn't good enough, and the player base was bitching and moaning about how much Battleship AP did, so they nerfed it into the ground and gone 10%. So unless they buff up Battleship AP, I think SAP is a joke on battleships. That's my personal opinion. So.
Well, see, it's gonna be very interesting. By the way, it's gonna be very interesting.
Oh, it's definitely going to be
for
very
me,
interesting.
I
And,
don't-
you know, obviously
yeah.
we have to wait to play it. We have to actually wait to play the damn thing before we can have an educated opinion on this. But I can tell you right now, this is my concern that it's going to come out there, and you're going to hit this. You're going to hit these. Did you notice that the SAP max damage is higher than the Montana's? The Montana Citadel damage is like 13,000 or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's like 14,000 in change on the SAP damage.
Just a moment, I have opened it. Greetings from Chaos Mom, by the way.
Hey, Chaos Mom.
Chaos Mom! What is blah 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 blah. Come on, Chaos, you fucking old guy. Come on.
I have it here in my Discord. Here we go. I got it right here. It says maximum SAP shell damage 14,050. SAP initial velocity is 880 meters per second. Slot number 4 has exhaust smoke generator. Action time 45 seconds. Dispersion time 10 seconds. Reload time at 240 seconds. 180 if you take the premium.
Yeah.
And then the main battery reload time is 33 seconds. I don't care. It's like I don't care, man. This is too much. This is too much damage for the DDs. Now I've spent the last couple of podcasts saying about how battleships need to be helped, but this is ridiculous about DDs, man. It's going to slaughter destroyers, and you know I made a killing hitting DDs in experience when I first started playing the game. Once I figured out that I could actually consistently hit them, and it's going to go right back to it. It's going to go right back to it.
Yeah, you find it, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, we'll have to see. What do you guys think out there about SAP coming to battleships? And what do you guys think about them reverting the Battleship AP change versus DDs? They have set a precedent when they nerfed it. They're saying that battleships cannot do that much damage to destroyers, and yet now they're going to give these Battleship AP shells over there, or the SAP shells to battleships, especially this particular line. Because if it works good in this one boat, you know they're going to throw that gimmick on every other boat on that line. If it doesn't work in this boat, then we have one particular boat that slaughters DDs that will come out, and then I'm sure you'll get a standard AP shells from the Italians.
Look, the game needs diversity. Otherwise, it will be boring. To be honest.
Well, I mean, with the Roma,
Like what?
the Roma is a very tanky battleship, very maneuverable, tanky battleship.
I love my Pastor Roma. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn good boat. The guns are a little lacking for my taste, being 15 inches. But if you can get broadsides, it does okay if it hits. Overall, I think the Italians should have taken this mantle. They should have taken that mantle of tanky ships, questionable secondaries, and get at tier 8, 15-inch guns, and then tier 9 and 10 you can go 16-inch guns at tier 9. You can go 457s at tier 10, and still have quite a bit of tank involved. And I think that's the way the Italians should have gone instead of them wanting to pull SAP from the cruisers and put them into the battleships. I think that they need to take a look at the changes that they have done in the past and say, why did we make this change? Okay, well, if that change was for this reason, we cannot make this change into the game because it will go against that change back in the day.
You know, the thing is, they release a lot of things, and definitely expect from us to say this change definitely, and the feedbacks. And I'm very sure, 1000%, they listen us and they respect our opinion, and they respect about
I don't know.
which
They listen to us, and they respect the opinion. I don't know if it goes along with what they have planned. Then yeah, they'll respect it. If not, then they just kind of read it and then throw it away. That's kind of the feeling that I've been getting.
Yeah, I don't know. As I see so far, I see about a lot of feedbacks. They make these changes. I have small experience.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But so far, I'm satisfied about that.
All right. So more new things. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. About the Italian ship, because I love my Roma. The Roma, as I say to the people, it's not for the long distance. It's 12, maximum 13 kilometers. You're gonna smash your enemy. It's amazing. Sometimes the dispersion,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's
but
a battleship, so you expect those shots every once in a while.
Yeah.
So we got new emblems coming in for the Pan-European DDs, and you guys can check that out in your emblem page. We have new camouflages coming out. It's called the three crown camo. And for you guys that are here in the chat here, I'm just going to link this to you so you guys can follow along at home. There you go. There it is. It looks pretty good. These camos, some things, as much trash and as much shit that I hang on. As much shit that I hang on wargaming for gameplay and mechanics and stuff like that, there are some very good things that they do well. The maps always look amazing. They're always updating visuals. The ports look fucking fantastic. They're always updating those. The camos. I love the camos of this game. And honestly, I wish that they would come up, have some guy out there making historical camos like this, but making some stupid camos too. Some like ridiculously... just different camos, something that gives each ship a different flavor. And I think that they've missed the boat here, no pun intended. But they've missed the boat on making money based off of skins more than based off of the ships, because they can make out a lot of skins out there that look very good, and people will buy them. People will buy them. I know I will. If you got a camo out there that looks really good, would you buy it?
You ask me?
Yeah, I ask you. I ask everybody. You, the channel.
Okay. On this, I want to say something if you allow me. That is the reason the game and the company give the opportunity to the people to make camos. About the first vote the camos and blah, blah, blah. This is awesome opportunity. And I wish from the Wargaming to put this nice article in a World of Warships official page every week. Because we like to see new things, and we see a lot of camos, and I hope to see more special camo, like the mosaic, like, every call it, And about the camos, a lot of people ask me about, you think they're gonna make a new camos? Yeah, because every month or every 2 months, something like that, they give the opportunity to the people to create camos. It's a contest. You take this, for example, tier 8 ship, like a reward, and we take your camo and we put it in the game. So a big honor for the guy to create this camo.
Yeah, this is my camo.
Yeah. You make a camo?
No. I'm just saying.
Okay.
The guy's saying, yeah, man, look at that motherfucker. That's mine. I know they did a. I know a couple of years. I don't know, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, they did a badges. They instituted the badges that you can customize your badge that shows up on the enemy screen when you kill them. Number one, I don't like that because I don't care what your badge is. You killed me, and I fucking hate you for killing me. But that's my attitude. But they did 10 camos. They chose 10 camos from across the world, and a couple of guys from the channels got their not camos, but badges, got their badge designs in the game. So I think it's very good. It's a source of pride for some people. Hey, look at that, guys! That's my camo right there, or that's my badge right there. But speaking of camos, here's a Reddit thread for the chat here, and of course you guys are over on the YouTube. I'll have it in the section below, so you guys can check this out as well. European Destroyer Part 2. I want you guys to scroll about halfway down. The Hayate camo is coming out. Have you seen this camo? Oh, holy shit! That thing looks amazing. It's got red at the waterline.
Yeah.
It's a solid black with the gold wave trim. It's got gold guns. It's got guns. I don't know, whatever the outside of the gun is called. It's got a koi fish on the one side. It's got a looks like a mermaid on the other side. It's red and it's black and it has red accents on the guns themselves, gold accents on the guns, red on the deck. It just looks phenomenal. Now,
Yes.
time for tinfoil hat theory or time for prediction here. We're gonna try to prophesy here a little bit. Hayate, when they're talking about updating this for 9.3, part of me wants to assume here, now no confirmation, this is completely non-community contributor information. This is all me. I think Hayate comes out in 9.3 because they're announcing this camo coming out with the Hayate that you could probably buy in 9.3.
Yeah, I say exactly the same today because they asked me about that, and it's about no, just where is the date? 1 day ago. The part 2, it's the 0.93, as you say. Yes.
And we just hit 0.2. Today was 9.2.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is,
probably it's not about they released the Hayate. Probably it's about to test for our hands to test the ship, not
well,
about.
we've already tested the Hayate.
Yeah. Oh, how many times? Once.
We tested it. We tested it once. It went away, and sometimes they test them once and they go away, and then they come back and they're ready to play. So.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we tested Hayate right before you started being a community contributor because it's been 4 or 5 months or so since we've tested. I think maybe longer since we tested it. But it's a good boat. I highly recommend getting that one. I think I would probably push people to the Hayate over the small end because the Hayate plays different. It's a gunboat. It's a gunboat Japanese DD. Like the gearing, almost. That's kind of what I attributed it to.
It's exactly the same with the Shimakaze, by the way.
Yeah, it looks the same, but the gun reloads are different.
No, about the maximum damage of the torps. It's 23,767. Okay,
12 kilometer piece. Yeah.
67 knots.
Moving into more camos. The Alabama. There's the Alabama, the Texas, the New Orleans, the Duke of York, the Implacable, the Agile, the Minsk, the October Revolution are also getting the 75th anniversary of. I'm assuming these are 75 Victory Day patch and permanent camouflage for all of these ships. And now that looks pretty good too. It's white, it's red, white, and blue. For the Americans, got a big 75 on the side. For the Texas, New Orleans, they all kind of look the same. Duke of York kind of looks the same as well. The Implacable the same. The Agile, red, white, and blue, more of the Frenchy style fashion. And then the Minsk is red and yellow, red and white only. So those look really good and they really pop. I wish they'd have put it something other than the Minsk because I'm not a big fan of the Minsk. But the October Revolution, that's a premium ship, so it gets another camo. So. Yeah. To take away from the McDonald's camo that they had before, I guess.
I give that camo.
Yeah, I have that camo too. Also, 2 new captains coming in: Jerzy Swirsky and Gregor Brestskevich.
You say it? Okay, cheers to you. Really. Congratulations, because I tried to say that and I say how I don't know.
Brestskevich. I don't know. Gregory Bro. There you go. Greg Bro right there. And then you got Jersey Shore Two guys. Jersey Swirsky has 2 talents. Reload expert coming upon 8 torpedo hit ribbons. The reload time of the torpedo tubes reduces by 5%, and you can activate this multiple times. So if you hit 16 torpedoes in a game, you will lower your torpedo reload by 10%, and so on and so on in that way. AA Guns aiming expert. Upon earning 20 aircraft shot down ribbons, continuous AA damage increases by 10. This talent can only be increased once per battle. So that's actually really good. I actually dig this. Did we lose him? Are you still there? Okay, your internet's kind of jacking around.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you're fine. The camera's kind of digital, but it's okay. It'll work. And then on top of that, also possesses an improved skill of an adrenaline rush. The reload time of all types of armaments is 0.25 instead of 0.2 for each 1% of HP loss. So you can get these things going very, very, very quickly. We already talked about the rank sprint. Clan battles. Did you do any clan battles at all?
Clan battles, no, we play not a lot. You know, real life, not the people have, real life, and unfortunately we didn't play so much.
Yeah, I'm not a big proponent of clan battles, but I know people who are in my clan, and they do a very good job at it. Here's the new season from clan battles. April 15th, tax day here in America, to June the 8th, as the 9th season of clan battles will be held. Battles will be played on tier 10 ships of all classes in a 7v7 format. Due to the addition of aircraft carriers this season, clan battles will introduce a new role to limit the number of ships in battle. Clans can go into battle with either one aircraft carrier or one battleship in the team. We understand that the appearance of aircraft carriers can greatly affect gameplay in clan battles. Therefore, we will closely monitor the results of this season. Based on that results, we will decide on further steps of development in the clan battles format. We would also like to mention that there won't be a discount on comrade skill redistribution, so no free respecs for this one. This measure was required to previous seasons so that could adjust their commander skills for their aircraft carriers were a factor or not. Okay, now we have to adjust them back because there was none, and they're not given the free respecs for clan battles this season. Only thing I can say is taking away a battleship and putting in a carrier. You're going to have, if you don't take a carrier, you're probably going to lose 90% of your games.
Again, it depends about the player.
Oh, absolutely. But we did, we did see that I texted my wife like 3 times to bring me a straw, and because she got me a drink, but I had no straw. And she came and threw it in there. I missed out. I was talking, and I missed it. But anyway, so you're going to get a lot of team compositions that has, say, Hakiru, and then like three Stalingrads, because that's their battleship, and then like 3 Smolensk. Man, I wonder how many of those you're going to have. You know.
Yeah. If you have the style, you are okay. But how many people in game they have the style or the Hakuryu,
Well, the people that are playing clan battles in the majority of the bigger clans here on the NA server, they all have everything.
Oh.
And these guys are. I don't have it because I think the boat is boring. But that's another story. But I don't know, man. I know I know clan battles has consistently dropped in participation in the NA server. I don't know about any other server. I can't speak for that. But from information that I've gathered from people that have played every season of clan battles, it has dropped drastically, and it's dropped so drastically that the players that are trying to get into clan battles end up playing against the same clans over and over and over again. Right now, obviously, that's based on times and when they're available. I get that a little bit, but when they're starting to play teams that are in higher brackets than them, then there's not enough people in those lower brackets, so there's not enough players playing. So I think clan battles is, as much as they want to hold on to it, I think clan battles is kind of on the outs with the community.
Look, the thing is, and you must, because a lot of people say, okay, let's go to play clan battles because we don't have something else to do. The clan battles, it's a serious competitive mode. you need practice. You need you come very close with your friends, your clanmates, and if you make a nice practices, look what happened now. We have King of the Seas.
King of the Seas is a whole thing on their own, from what I understand, and they make their own rules. So they have deemed carriers not good for the clan battle or for the King of the Seas. So you won't see carriers in there, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
And again, another tier 10 season. I know a lot of people are tired of tier 10. I know they have. I think anybody out there know how many seasons they've had of clan battles that wasn't tier 10? And in fact, I'm going to ask that question in a couple of other chats. What do you think? What do you think, man? Carriers in competition. I know we talked about it a little bit other, but see what do you think?
Well, the thing is, it's how can I say we in the game we have a lot of people to like the carriers, and that is the reason I think they include the carriers in game. You know, and if you ask me how many carriers, if I understand you well.
Well, I mean, just carriers in general. I personally don't think
In
carriers.
general,
Yeah, I think carriers have too. Like I said earlier, I think carriers have too much control over less players. Like 12v12 carriers seem to be okay, but when you pull out 8v8, 7v7, 6v6 with carriers, there's not enough AA to go around, and so they just kind of do whatever the fuck they want to.
The thing is, we must face it because it's a part of the game.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but I don't know. I guess I think that it shouldn't be. They shouldn't be in that little of competition because they have too much control at 8v8 and 7v7. If you want to put competition at 12v12, then we can talk about putting carriers in there. But without it, there's not enough AA to compensate for the amount of planes that they're going to have.
Yeah. What other subject? What happened with my fucking camera, man?
I don't know. It's just the internet. That's all it is. It could be Discord. It could be a couple other things, man. Yeah, but you still look good on the show. It's just on my screen. It's you're a whole bunch of different boxes. I can't see your beautiful Malaka's face. I think that the first from information that I'm getting right now, this just in, guys. The first I think the first season or two of Clan Battles was tier 8, and then everything else has been tier 10, if I remember right. I think that's it's coming from a Discord chat. So, but either way, that's okay. That's not a problem, man. All right. So with rank season being tier 10, clan battles being again tier 10, do you think that they focusing too much on tier 10? Do you think that they need to spread it out a little bit more?
Look, yeah, definitely. I have the feeling they're gonna give us. They're gonna change the tiers. I don't have some information, but I have this feeling. I want to see lowest tiers.
I would like to see. I would like. Yeah, we already talked about that. I apologize for asking that same question again. A new section.
No, it is.
Exterior section update. The restriction on the amount of special and economic signals you can mount at once will be removed in 9.03. You will still be able to use only up to 8 combat signals for each ship. In total, up to 21 signals can be mounted. So all those people who have a million experience flags, a million papas, stuff like that, you're going to be able to mount 21 pennants on your ship now, including the 8 combat ones that we would normally use: the Sierra Mikes, the India Hotels, the Dead Flags, the what I don't know what they all are. The AA flags, the secondary flag, the 2 fire chance debt flags, the flooding debt flag, the ram flag. I mean, you can add 21 flags to your boats now, making the grind even easier for people to go out there if they have these flags. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay. What do you think? Now your camera's way better now. What do you think, man?
About the flags, yeah, it helps a lot, man.
It helps a lot. Do you think it's good or bad? To allow them to have 21 flags, you have to make a choice. You
For
don't
me,
have to make a choice anymore. You can just throw them all on there.
no, it's let me open it. Yeah, let me open it. Where is yes?
Here,
Uh,
I send you.
Comic signals you can mount at once will be removed. Yeah, you'll be able to use only up to 8 combat symbols for each ship. It's not necessary because I don't understand. You mean it's not necessarily to put all of these flags. You can choose. I
Well,
think,
obviously, but you can mount every flag that you have.
Yeah.
You can literally
Yeah,
mount
for me,
every
yeah,
flag that
please.
you have for commander experience, free XP, regular XP, credits. You can mount all of those on plus your eight combat signals.
Yeah, for me it's not a problem because you can grind your ships very fast.
I don't have a problem with that either. Honestly, it's not a big deal. One issue that I have is the way that they are basically. The grind is not difficult anymore. It doesn't take time, and I think that overall is detrimental to the game because players are not spending 100 games at tier 8 playing that boat to get to tier 9 like they were 3 years ago. They're getting literally through a line in 50 games, and I think that the player base skill level has dropped drastically over the last 4 years, and it will continue to get worse the faster people get through the lines. That is the only issue that I can see that I have with this. Other than that, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. If they have the flags, let them fucking go put it on there. If they have the flags and they want to use every flag every game, I don't care. That's their game. I'm not going to tell them how they should want to play. So it's a good thing for me because I can do 3 and 4 of these directives at once. You know how awesome would this have been during that Puerto Rico grind?
No comments.
I like having 21 flags on and combat flags, and then put everything else behind it. Imagine playing in a Missouri when you are looking for your your credit. You need 30 million credits. You can get 9 million credits. It is not going to be uncommon to see screenshots of 40 and 50,000 experience coming off of this, and 70, 80,000, 90, 100,000 freaking commander experience out of one game. I don't see. You're going to start seeing this, and that's going to be the normal now. That's the new normal.
Look, as I read the chat and I agree about that, definitely a lot of amount of flags you take a lot of credits. It's good, especially for us, About the XP now, if you grind your ship very fast, the thing is you don't learn your ship.
Agreed.
And probably you're gonna ruin the battles to the other people, unfortunately.
Yeah, but they don't
definitely care. Yeah, I mean, the game wants to make more of the players happy, and it's a little bit, they try to find the balance, and we'll see what happened. For me, because I want to grind my credits, is good.
Yeah.
Because I have all the ships.
I pretty much have everything except what they're releasing now. I think still have yet to get to the Venezia. I'm still on tier 9 there. I've reground everything to get the Ohio, so I've done everything, a couple of things 2 and 3 times. And so when these new pan-European DDs come out, which are now today and available that you guys can get through directives and boxes, that's it. That's all I have left to grind. So I'm sitting on like 200 plus million credits, and there's nothing for me to do with them. So unless I need to specifically go get credits for a directive for the next event or for the next release or whatever they're doing, that's all I got. That's all I have to do.
Flags. I like a power leveling in other games.
Yeah.
You know, let's go to a sword. You know.
Power level. That's an interesting thing you say there, because I came from a world before I started streaming. Before I started streaming ships, I came from Diablo 3, Path of Exile, you know, that type of action adventure role playing game that I like to play. And one of the downfalls from those games that I took away from it, not necessarily Path of Exile, because it's really hard to do that in Path of Exile, but in Diablo especially, you can start up a new character, get a friend, and you're in your max level in 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, your max level in less than 5 minutes.
Never I play the Diablo.
No, that's fine. I don't recommend Diablo 3 to anybody. It ran its course. But either way, and so it ended up being detrimental because the grind to get to max level meant nothing anymore. I am sad to see wargaming go that way, where the grind to tier 10 did not mean anything anymore, and was not a journey. It was more of a, okay, the new line's coming out, Chaos Machine. You did all these things, and guess what? Now you have a tier 9 destroyer at your disposal. They're giving away 90% of the content on the line, and that means playing through the game at the lower tiers means dick anymore. What are your thoughts?
50-50. It's my thoughts. You know. Because of the new players and the veteran players. That is my concern, you know. I don't know, I think it's for good. And as I say, yes, okay. Yeah. How can I explain you now? They try to make feel comfortable the new players, the brand new, you know. I think that is the point.
I think that's the point, and I think that Diablo 3 did that as well, and they ended up catering to the newer guys. And I think that when they cater to the new guys solely, they end up alienating the guys that got them to where they were to today. And I think that they're alienating some of the old school players. I'm kind of old school. I guess I've been playing for 4 years, so I'm pretty old school.
You're a veteran, man.
Yeah. All right. So I'm an old school player. I've been around before the changes, and I think that they've kind of alienated us, and they've just really focused on the new players and the new player experience. And the people that want to play the game are going to play the game. Period. No matter what. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, and I think with them catering that much, giving away 90% of the content is detrimental. A, to the game. B, to the longevity. Now what do we have to do? All right, everybody's got fucking tier 10. How do we continue to keep people playing the game? Well, let's incentivize the fucking research bureau so everybody has to go back and play ships that they didn't play through the beginning. You see, it's the kind of, they're creating their own problems, and the research bureau is a band-aid on a problem that they created themselves when they started giving away tier 5, tier 6, tier 7, tier 8, and now tier 9 ships when the new line releases. Now, obviously, when the older players, when the new line would come out and the older players were there, they would free XP through the entire line. You know, they would. I remember when the German battleships first came out. My buddy, I believe Timmy G, wailed all the way through to tier 10.
Look, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Jump in here.
Tiers, yeah, in medium tiers, you feel kind of useless, so made me. That is why they do this. Look, I don't know, New York, something like that. It's a little bit, you know.
You don't like to.
They want to push them a little bit, you know what I mean.
No, I mean, I understand what they're doing. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the point of it, but I don't like it because, and I'll take another example from Diablo. Once you hit max level, then you get what they call Paragon levels. It's a never-ending experience gain cycle. So you end up regurgitating the same shit over and over and over again until you hit your desired thing, your desired Paragon level. And then that's it. That's all you do. And it becomes very repetitive, and it becomes very, it can get very boring very quickly. So with that being said, that's the way I feel about the Research Bureau. It is this never-ending cycle of just pure boredom, and until they incentivize it to where people would actually want to do it, I think it's a bad mechanic, and I think it's a bad precedent to set. It's like we don't care about the rest of the game. We're giving you 5. We're not even giving you away 2, 3, or 4. We're giving you away 9. We're giving you away 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I would much rather see them give away 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, but not 9, not 10. What's next, Chaos? What's next? You're going to get an email in your email for a new, maybe you have a secular email that you don't use. You got chaosmachine@aol.com or some shit. And and you get an invitation from Wargaming. Hey, come play our game, World of Warships. If you click this link right now and sign up, we will give you all 400 plus ships in the game. That's basically what you're doing. So, I don't know. Either way, I don't like it. All right, Chaos Machine, are you ready for the 9 questions of averageness to get to know you just a little bit better?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. All right, guys, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything that we've talked about thus far, we still have just a little bit left to go. So you guys can @SirVenomIK here in the chat. I have copy-pasted some of them. We have quite a bit of those, and we will put them into a spreadsheet or put them into a thing, and I will ask those questions and answer those questions at the end of the cast. So, guys, we're hanging out with Chaos Machine @ChaosMachineGR over on the Twitter sphere and twitch.tv/ChaosMachineGR right here in the Twitch. And, of course, I am SirVenomIK. You guys can hit me up @Sir_Venom_IK over on the Twitter. So there you go, boys. Here we go. Here's what we got. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
All right, guys, let's get to know Chaos Machine just a little bit better. How in the hell did you find World of Warships? Out of all the games in all the world, you walked into my bar, Chaos Machine. walked in the World of Warships, man.
First of all, I find my thingy finally. I can smoke this pipe. How call it? The vape. Anyway.
You can smoke cigarettes. I don't care.
No, it's disrespectful, I think.
It's not disrespectful.
Sorry.
You can't see what I'm doing, and I'm vaping everywhere.
Yeah, cigarette, it's...
I've smoked cigarettes for years on my show before I started vaping, so don't worry about it.
Like one of my best friends says, I saw lights and I entered,
There you go.
Well, first of all, I open my computer and I say, John, let's watch YouTube. Come on, dude. Okay, I watch YouTube and I say, Mr. Jiggles, the mighty Jiggles. Everyone who is this legend. And I see a nice video about Yamato. And I say, oh, fucking unbelievable that. The Yamato, man. This is the legend Yamato? Really? Where can I find this game? After 10 minutes, I find the link from Mr. Jiggles. And I see advertised on, if I say correct, on Facebook. I see the link, click the link, I download it, I buy my first 30 days of premium, and here we are. And I'm so blessed about that. And definitely, I love because I play this game because I love the history. I read a lot of history about the Greek history, about all the history of our other countries, especially the World War I, World War II. Mm-hmm. And here it is.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. I know ships. Being in the Navy, I was a parachute rigger. It kind of had an affinity toward ships when I first saw that it was there. I missed out on the closed beta. They did not accept me, but I came in as soon as it was open to everybody. I was able to get in and start playing open beta. So I've been playing for 4 years. June, I guess something like that.
I close 7 months, 3 years. Unbelievable this.
3 years and 7 months you've been playing now?
No, I close 7 March. I close
March.
Years on World of Warships.
That's impressive, man. That's impressive. I think we're pretty close to 4 years. I'm not sure exactly what the day is, and I'll get my 4-year badge or whatever it is here in a couple of weeks. I might already have it. I don't know. Yeah, no Arkansas beta for me. I was pretty upset about that. All right, so you go from playing the game. What was your decision? What was your motivation to get into streaming World of Warships?
Good question. Let's start from this. I was working for 22 years like a waiter. I working in hotels, tavernas, and blah blah blah. Well, I love to involve with the people. I want to meet new people because that is my character. I want to learn more ideas because if you meet more persons, more people, you learn the life better, like my father says. And I'm so proud to be part of this community because, my dear friend, this community, I'm gonna say this thing now. We are the garden and they are the water.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And,
If it's not for the community, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. Anybody else, Jingles wouldn't be there if there wasn't a community. You know, you can take any streamer out there, and if they ever say that it's thank you, if they don't say thank you, then there's something wrong, because I know that there's a million other people out on Twitch. There's a million other games out on Twitch. There's only one World of Warships. And for them to come into my channel or come into your channel at twitch.tv/ChaosMachineGR, and if they don't come in there, then we don't do what we do. So big props to those guys. I love those guys.
And how call it? Thanks to Twitch platform, we have this opportunity to meet a lot of people from all the world. Oh, yeah. And you can imagine it's difficult for me because I find my cojones and I'm coming to you because my English is not my native language, but here we are.
Hey, man.
Unbelievable.
Shit, English isn't even my native language, man. I speak Texican.
Okay, you confuse me right now.
It's a joke. There's no such thing as Texican to speak, but it's all English, but just bad English. How about that?
And every day, you know how I feeling, even I am online or not, I receive PMs, the people come to say, hi, how are you? For me, this is a battery in car, you know, how can I explain you?
It gives you charge. Yeah, it's absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeps you motivated.
Hello, how are you? A good morning, a good word, not about you are a suck player and okay, I'm not very good player, but
I love it. Yeah, you are a suck player. I love that.
You know what I mean. And that keeps
need to clip
me
that out
going,
there, guys. You are a suck player.
No, come on.
We record that, and we're gonna put that on our soundboard because that was fucking amazing.
Oh shit.
I know. Going through multilingual streams, it's very hard. I do try to get to a lot of the the people that don't natively speak English or understand English a lot, and it's very hard for them to communicate even with me. So you tend to just sit there, but I appreciate it. I've been trying to learn. I learned one word, a couple of words, I guess, here in Greek, and it was souvlaki. Souvlaki. There's a V instead of an F.
And the malakas, you know.
And what you said earlier.
Moussaka.
Moussaka, there you go. And then malakas, and those are the things that I learned. And I have since gone into another German-speaking channel and learned Ausschluss. I don't know, whatever asshole meant in German, because I thought that was funny too. And I go with the preface that I'm just a dumb American. I don't know German. Of saying, hey man, I heard asshole meant good day to you, man. That's what I said. That's what I said to Chaos Machine. Yeah, somebody told me that malakas meant hey, good morning or something like that in Greek, and he's like, no, this don't. All right, so now it's just kind of a running joke, and it's fun.
Then, if you come in Greece, and I hope you come, if you arrive in airport, don't start to say, hey malakas!
Hey malakas, what up, man?
Don't do that.
There you go. That's funny.
this is my way, my friend. I think I help the people to have a big smiling because we know we have difficult days in all the world, and the people behind this screen and behind this keyboard, they try to forget their real life, man. They have problems or they're not. You never know. And let's go to say Venom, let's go to say Chaos, let's go to see Flambas, Flamu, anyone, Grumpy Beard, TC Freer, Son MG, all my friends, and you sit here, you take your coffee, and you say, oh, hell yeah, I'm gonna enjoy. I forgot a little bit my real life.
Yeah.
I spent 1 hour and 2 hours with that guys. I watch the games, but I want to relax and to enjoy. 2 hours, it's okay.
Yeah, I know. And it's something that I've always strived to is I'm not very good at the game. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm average at the game. That's what I've always said. I don't like the arrogance of some people when they're playing. I'm the best. Just pay attention to what I saw. Blah blah blah. I don't like that, so I try to avoid being that way. Simply for the fact that I want the stream to be minor about the game and more about you guys. You, me, my interaction with the chat, whoever's in my Discord that I'm talking to. I think that's more of an interesting stream than just sitting there playing the game all the time. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. And as I said to the new people to want to start the streams, be yourselves.
That's right. People can see through. I've been around Twitch for 6 years now this month. Six years I've been on Twitch. And actually next week is 6 years. I've seen a lot of people go out there and pretend that there's something else for the entire show. And when you meet them in real life, they don't know who they are anymore because their persona takes over who they are. And they can't separate themselves from their stream guy anymore. So I always recommend people be yourself. If they like you, they like you. If they don't, well, they probably don't need to be in your channel. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like you, man. I think you're fucking fantastic. Always, even from the first days you started coming into my channel. And I'm so glad that you started streaming, man, because you're a good dude. And I'm glad to get to know you even better. And bringing me into your Malacca's life, right? All right, so question number 3, being a Twitch streamer and now a community contributor, what do you hope to communicate or to contribute to our community as World of Warships community?
Well, first of all, I want to say a big thank you to all the people to give me this support. I'm going to speak about the community again. It's something awesome. To be honest, I don't know why, but I didn't expect that, to be community contributor, it's a big responsibility. I mean, you must show the game to the people and you must keep the balance and all this stuff to help the people. And I remember in August, I sent the application and they replied to me, oh, yes, welcome to our family and all of this stuff. They're given the opportunity to visit Athens in wargaming with my Greek friends and the all Greek community. I meet the people there and they call me, hey, you are the Chaos. I feeling like, you speak to me? Yes, you are the Chaos.
Yeah, it's very humbling.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's you, the streamer, and you come in Athens to see us. Yes, of course, because I feel very glad these people, they give to me something. Mm-hmm. And I say to myself, wake up. You must go to Athens now because you respect these guys.
Yep.
They spend hours to see what you're doing. And I want to meet these guys in real life. And for me, this is the biggest gift. I met Mr. Yabaku, Mr. George Struthos, the associate manager, and thank you. for the Greek community about that. Really, from my heart, I love you guys. Really, thank you so much about that for your support. We discussed about the game there. I listen them about the problem of the game, about new ships, Greek ships, definitely, guys. I try very hard about that, and I approve you. We'll see what happened. It's a crazy thing, Venom. It's a crazy thing about the CC status, and as I say again, thanks to the community, I'm community contributor. That's it.
Absolutely. So, all right. Question number 4. What has been your biggest setback now? It could be in streaming or your life or the game, anything. And how have you overcome it? Let's get to know deep down Chaos here. What do you think the biggest setback in
my
your
life
life has
could be
been?
not about streaming. In my life or about you streaming?
Either one. Whatever you choose to reveal. It's up to you.
Let me.
I sent these questions to you early, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I keep my notice, but I didn't write. I didn't translate this, unfortunately.
Oh, you didn't get this question?
I don't have notes. Don't read the notes.
Is fine.
But I don't know what it means. What has been
your
the
biggest setback, like the biggest negativity in your life, or biggest negativity in your streaming career that you had to overcome.
To make me feel sad, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm a very humble guy, and I don't like to say lies. I say only the truth, and sometimes I lose friends because I say the truth. And these things sometimes they give me strength to not give up. And let's say a small history of 2 minutes. I started streaming 3.5 years ago, or more, I don't know. Anyway, let's say 4 years. I give up after 1 year because I have only 5 euros, included my mom. And I say it's not the chaos. It's not thing for you. It's not thingy for you. It's give up, and don't do that. I quit from my job April 2019 because I don't feel very comfortable, and some personal things in my life, very serious personal things, with myself, because I think I'm ugly, I'm not deserve a woman, I'm not deserve to live, and blah, blah, blah. And I wake up one morning and I say, what the fuck are you saying? Are you fucking idiot? This is your life, you stupid idiot. You have your mom, you have your sister, you have your friends, you have your father. What the fucking are you saying? Wake up. I slap myself, really, I slap myself. I go to the mirror and I speak to myself. And I say, keep on. Forget what happened in the past. You must think about what happened in the past, and you must learn about that.
Absolutely. It's a hard thing to realize where you are in your life, and I mean, I had that same problem, man. People always told me when I was a kid that I needed to shut up and sit down, and I would have these questions and I would be angry all the time, and they was like, man, you're an idiot for being angry. There's no reason to be angry. But I was like, but I was angry, and it wasn't until after I was out of the service, I'd already been married for a few years, that my wife just set me down and she said, dude, you need to calm the fuck down. I was like, why? Every fucking time I get angry, it's always because I'm the bad guy because I'm angry. And I said, that's not fair. It's not fair to me. And so finally I said, you know what? If I get angry at motherfuckers, I'm just going to spit it out there. I have been pushed down too long in my life to not do it. If I continue to be pushed down, then I probably would have shot myself or something, man. Just having so much hatred and anger just pushed upon me, And I tell you what, the streaming, coming out here and just talking it out, has helped me, get out of those dark places. And this is the shit that I have overcome, just being angry, and for zero reason. And well, there is a reason, is because I was never able to express anything that I could. My feelings as a guy. Guys aren't supposed to, show any kind of emotion, or they're just supposed to be chill all the time. And when you're upset, it's like a taboo. In the States, if you're upset about something, to have that expression. And that was the shit that was coming off of, I grew up, I born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, 80s and 90s, and it was still kind of that old school mentality of, you can't show emotion. You're a pussy, or you're a girl because you're showing emotion. And finally I broke through that shit, and it took a long time.
I'm gonna open my please.
Go continue.
No, I'm gonna open my heart here because I can feel, I can I can't hide my feelings. No, and as I say, I can say lies. If I didn't find the way to streaming, my friend, I go to be a priest. Really, I'm gonna give up the life, and I'm gonna look in the God. I'm Christian Orthodox, and you know what I mean.
Right.
And thanks to my parents, because they told me, shut the fuck up and open your fucking eyes and wake up. And here is. And as I say again, thanks to these people to give us the support. Say to us at least one hello in chat.
Yeah.
You can imagine what it means for both of us, because I know what character we are.
Yeah.
And the second part, my friend, the Greek guys, and especially community, it's the all friends, the all situation. After it's the people to meet in Athens. You can imagine, really, I go in the bus and I cry because I think about them, and man, I feel like I don't know, very personal guy. They watching me in my eyes. I speak to them and I say to them, "Why are you watching me like this?" And after this, I meet the Bob's family.
Mm-hmm. Good people.
What can I say? Yeah.
Great people, man. Great people. It's always nice when you yourself can just say, present yourself to the world. Here I am, guys. My name is Chaos Machine. You guys can find me over at twitch.tv/ChaosMachineGR.
Yeah.
Go over there and follow us.
I'm
they are accepting of you, no matter what, no matter who you are, no matter what you want to present. I mean, the internet is a very interesting place. It's a very interesting place, for lack of a better word. And you can present yourself as anything that you want to be. It doesn't matter, because you have that anonymity behind the keyboard, that you can present yourself as whatever you want, whatever you want, and you can force those people to perceive you in a certain way. When you turn on your camera, Chaos, and when I turn on my camera, I am who I am. The same guy here, the same guy at TwitchCon, the same guy going down to Austin and visiting the people in the office down in Austin, going over to the the museum tours that they do. I am who I am, and I'm real, and I think that's what attracted me to your stream, other than your sexy face. Is that you are a real guy, and I think that the real guys, I think that it might take them longer to build up a community, but that community is going to be loyal. I don't know, for lack of a lack of a better word there. I'm sure there's a better word that I can use, but they will be loyal, and you will have a stronger community being real than you will being fake. So props to you, man.
Look, the thing is, I'm proud about you guys. I'm gonna meet these guys in real life in July. 9 July, I take the airplane and I go in UK. If everything is okay about this coronavirus, and thanks God, I hope to finish this thing. It's very sad, and it's something tremendous and something it's good, and that is the reason I want to give. That is the reason I say I saw with my way the game, and I hope to enjoy the stream. And I say every time in my stream, in the end, spend your time with your family, spend your time with your friend, respect yourself, and you must respect the other because you never know what happened tomorrow. Open your hearts. I know it's difficult. It's difficult. We are not all the same people, but you never know. And I live every moment in my life. And again, I'm very happy about all of this. If I didn't have this, no comments.
I understand. If I didn't have the stream, my wife and my family, my lovely wife, we've been married 20 years, has basically supported us for when I was going through some seriously tough times after I got fired from my last official job. And she said, just go do your show. Just go. Whatever it takes, just go do it. And I did. And I love her to death. And she's very special. If it wasn't for her, who knows? If it wasn't for her in the stream, that combination coming together at the right time, man, who knows where I would be.
I'm so excited, you know what? Because look what happened right here. Okay, the game is the game. Okay, we love the game. That is the reason. This is the reason we meet with the community and with the people. Me in Athens with the Greek community, you and blah blah blah. I know you 4 years. I know your kids. I know your wife. I watch you on stream, and fucking unbelievable. This one. This is the sweet and the salty thing in this life. I mean, amazing. Because of the internet, definitely. If we didn't have internet, we're gonna speak with the smoke, like the internet.
Smoke signals. Chaos, Malakas. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, but that is my point, man. It's amazing with one word. What can I say about that? That is the life. That is the only thing.
It is literally. That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. Hell, half the time I take a look back and I say I got 1.3 million views and 13,000 followers. Oh, congratulations on 5,000 followers, by the way. Just passed his milestone. Hell yeah.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Congratulations on that. That's fucking impressive.
Cheers to these guys, not me. Cheers to these guys.
It's cheers to you, man. You got to show up, man. You got to show up and do the work.
I have very sweet face.
There you go. If you stream it, they will come. So there you go. All right. Anyway, overall, it's unbelievable, and I know you're appreciative of it. I'm appreciative of it. And if there's anybody out there that doesn't seem appreciative of it, then they're not worth your time. They're not worth your time. You're not there. I've seen so many people, and you've probably seen this on Twitter a lot. So many people complain that they're not doing this. The chat, come on, chat, y'all need to do this, y'all need to do that, and those people's streams just go away because they're not in it for the right things, man. So there you go. All right, moving on to the next question. Question number 5. He said, from World of Warships player, then moving to a streamer, and now a community contributor. What have you learned in your journey about our community, and what has changed in our community and the Twitch community since you've been going?
Well, believe me, the journey was amazing so far, and the journey continues, of course, because I like the game and I like this situation here. I like it very much every day and every time because of all of this situation again. Definitely, as I say, I try to with my crazy character, to show all of this thing. A big part of the stream community. It's a big part of the gaming community. It's obvious, and a lot of people, because of this game, they want to start the streamings because not because of success and about publicity and blah blah blah. It's about they like the game, and they watching us. A lot of people they watching us. I don't speak about myself, and I speak about myself. Why not? They learn the game. Other guy has other way. I have my way. You have your way. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, and this is a nice thing, Boss ambassador. Yeah, right. Okay, and yeah.
I think that you touched on something there that is something near and dear to my heart. When I first started streaming the game, there was nobody really doing any kind of educational content. There was Jingles does his videos, and Notzer does his videos, and Chase does his videos and all that. And I think Chase was probably the one that helped me the more. We're talking about iChase. With some of his videos. And then I finally got to the point where I learned enough to where I could explain things to people in such a dumbed down way that I had to see. Like I would watch iChase video on how to aim with a dynamic crosshair.
Mm-hmm,
And
yeah.
I watched that, and it was very simple. Well, I'm sorry, it wasn't very simple. It was very in-depth knowledge on that, and I was able to adjust that to where I could understand it. And if I can understand it, because I am a very simple person, I was able to actually instruct people on how to do it. And I think that part of the community was not there. And then I was like, hey, there's a need there. Nobody's teaching people how to play. So I focused more of my content from that point on to trying to help people get better. Now, I'm not talking about super high level play. I'm talking about super basic play. Why am I doing this? What are you doing that? And I'm not going to tell people what they need to do. I'm going to give them an idea of this is the reasons why I'm doing this. So hopefully you guys can adapt that reasoning to whatever situation you're in. And I think that's unique. That's unique in what I do. That's unique in this sounds like this is what you try to do as well. And I know a couple of other guys have since shifted from, hey, look at me, look how good I am, to more of that educational thing. And I think that's a good thing. It's good building up the community instead of telling people, oh, you're a shit player, look at your stats, and say, okay, well, why are your stats this way? What are you doing? How are you playing this boat? What boat are you struggling in? Is there any play style information that I can pass along to this guy to help him enjoy this boat that he despises? If there is, then I will. If there's not, then I'll say, hey, man. And of course, we still have all that beautiful chat over there. That chat is 100% correct all the time, according to them. So there's many different opinions. But so yeah, I definitely think you touch on something there with the educational process of how people get better at this game. And if we can help in that way in any bit, then I'm happy.
Thank you so much about that. Yeah, and I'm speechless. What you say? Well, look, sometimes the people doesn't play the game and they want to have fun and to learn the game, because if you watch a stream and you play the game at the same time, it's a little bit difficult to learn some things from the game or to listen some news. Next week we're gonna give this, or next week they're gonna release the mines or the Chaos Machine ship, Server Venom ship, something like that. Every day, definitely, we have new players and new viewers on community. They try to play the game and they say, where can I find tips or people to advertise and show the game? Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and so on and so on. And it's, I say again, the community, it's the power about this game, because I can connect this game and Twitch community.
Mm-hmm. That's a good melding between
Yes,
the two, and
it's
it got even stronger when they did the drops. The drops now, how good they are, how bad they are, it doesn't matter. People love to get free stuff, and I think it brought more people into the Twitch community, and there was a lot of viewers to go around for a very long time, for a couple of months right after the. Right after the Twitch drops were started, and I think that Twitch drops have brought more people into the Twitch community overall, and I think it was good.
and that is that is the reason, as I said before. I told in interview, you know who, I want that role because I want to help the people with my way, and I'm to show the paths of the game with my way, and I study every day. And he told me, I warn you, if you change behavior and attitude because you are CC now, I'm gonna take this role. It's you. It's I don't know. It's
It's who you are.
Yeah, and that's it. And I'm so glad.
All right, me too, man. I'm glad that I can sit there and be myself, be a moron wearing a bikini, and a coconut, or the next thing we're gonna dye my beard since we can't do bikinis anymore. We're gonna dye my beard different colors. That's our next thing to do. So, and people think, people enjoy it. I mean, that's all it is. It's all for entertainment purposes and
Exactly.
having a good time. So, I'm supposed to title this Malakas and Mankini for the YouTube channel. So apparently that's what our title of this podcast is going to be whenever we put it out there. All right, guys, we're hanging out with Chaos Machine here at ChaosMachineGR over on the Twitter, twitch.tv/ChaosMachineGR. Of course, I am Sir Venom IK here, Sir_Venom_IK. If you guys are hanging out in the YouTube channel, twitch.tv/Sir Venom IK, come on over and hit me up when I'm live, and we can have a live conversation. Question number 6. What would you say makes you different, makes you stand out from everybody else, and why, Chaos, should we pay attention to you and who you are?
Well, I am a crazy guy from I am a crazy guy from Greece. I grew up in difficult situations, definitely, of course, and I love what I do. I love the game. I love to involve with the people, and the most important is I love my life. I learned from my grandfather. I respect and the water I drink, like the Asia people, and I see the world from my view. I don't know it's correct view or not, but I see the whole world from eye eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I start to play the game and I start to stream it because I see a lot of people to do that, to be honest, And I say to myself, hey, let's try.
Give it a shot.
Okay, give it a shot. Yeah, you speak some English, you're gonna speak a Greek, half and half, and that's it. And my first months in Twitch, it's a little bit boring and I'm disappointed about myself. And as I say before about the story, how I wake up and blah, blah, blah. And definitely about, I can't forget the Magnus Maximus, this guy. He told me, why try to make streams and be yourself.
Yeah.
You never know what happened. And here we are. And
did you try other things? Like I know I got to the point where I wanted to be an authority in one area, right? So when I first started streaming, I was playing Diablo 3, like I said. And the majority of the players that were streaming the game were barbarians, they were monks, they were witch doctors. There was no demon hunters, right? And so I took it upon myself to fill that need of a demon hunter streamer. So I put myself, and I considered myself an authority into Demon Hunters. Maybe people didn't like it one way or another, but I got really good at understanding how this class worked. And so I saw that need and I filled it. And that's something that I want to encourage anybody else that's starting to stream, because there's so many people from my channel now are starting their own channels. I mean, Chaos, you started after coming into my channel after a while. Now, I'm not going to say I inspired that at all, because that would be conceited. But you have come in, and I tell you, just be yourself. I tell you, many different things about being a streamer, And
yeah, as I say, I'm a normal guy like the others, and as I say, we must believe ourselves and we must love what we do. And a lot of people ask me why you play only World of Ghosts, because I like it. It's obvious. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, and and I can't forget these guys in Athens. Yabaku definitely, and George Ruthos, to shake the hands, and congratulations about all the stuff. Definitely am very positive about this year, about the event. I hope to see them again. And wow, chat, Mr. Servano, the journey continues.
It does, man. It is a journey, man. And you never know. Streaming is an up and down. Streaming is a roller coaster. You're going to have really, really good highs, and you're going to have really, really low lows. But those highs will come back. So it goes up and down. Your viewers are at 200 one day. The next day they're at 30. And then they come back and they're up. And then when those lows get higher and higher as they go up. So I mean, it is a journey, and people just grind it out. Be yourself. Talk. Try not to be negative. Now, I am guilty of this more than anybody else that I know. I'll have a really good moment, and it's ruined by some part of frustration from the game, and I just go off for 20 minutes and I'm just not enjoying myself for those 20, 25 minutes. But then somebody comes into the chat and they're like, "Hey, Venom, shut the fuck up." Yeah. Okay, and then we're back on a good pace, and we're back on an upbeat type of show. And I've never seen you into a down. I've never seen you into a down like my 20-minute rant or something that I go off on. So that's always good.
Yeah, like my grandfather again say, because sorry, he's dead unfortunately. I grew up with that guy, and he told me, "You are a special book. If somebody wants to learn you, he must read you. But don't be strict with your pages. You must help him to read you, if you understand what I mean."
I understand exactly what you mean, man.
Sorry, I didn't say correct in English, but you catch the point.
No, that's fine. I get the idea. You are a. I'm trying to let's see. Is there something close to something that they say? I don't know if there's anything in English. Did they say anything in English like that, man? All I can gather from that is you are who you are, and if people want to get to know you, help them know who you are.
Exactly.
There you go. Something like that. Philosophizer your grandpa was, man. Hey, question number 7. Who influences you as a person to go to that next level, to take it up a notch? It could be either a person, an artist, a book, a movie, something that you saw, a song that inspires you. What forces you go to that next level, man?
You mean about my life or overall? You mean
anything, man? Personal life, streaming life, gaming life. Who influences you, that inspires you to go to that next level? What makes you want to be better than you are now?
My grandfather.
There you go. A special guy. I gotta take it. I know my grandmother passed away in 2018, and she was one of those people that forcing me to take a look at the way life is, and saying, hey, you need to step back and take a look. Look at where you were. Yeah. Look at where you were. Look at where you are now. and be better than you were, and that's always stuck with me, and that's my inspiration. Be better than I was, and so what about your grandpa inspires you to go to that next level, man?
He told me he was passed away a lot of years. I was 17, but he told me uh, if you want success in your life, first of all, you must respect your parents. You must respect yourself, and if you want to success in your marriage, you must respect your woman. And the people definitely, that is the reason I go to say again about community. The people to respect us, all the streamers definitely, we turn back with our way. I mean, hey, hello, how are you? How is your day so far? For me, this, some people, they think it's, we say this because we must say it. No, no, it's not that. It's a nice discussion between real human beings. And these guys to watching your streams, they try, as I said before, the real life, a little bit. My motivation most, it's about, and my grandfather definitely, and my parents definitely, my mom and my dad, and my dear sister. I love them so much.
Hey, you got a sister?
Yeah, of course, she's very beautiful, and
Is she
she's
hot?
married.
Oh, she's married. Dang.
Yeah, damn. Damn. If you honest in your life about everything, sometimes we must say lies to save a serious situation or a marriage or our life sometimes. Oh, no, don't do that because, the honestly in this world, it's the best value, the best thing. Sometimes it's a risk, but the whole life it's a risk. It's a big risk.
There you go. Goes back to what
That
you're
is
saying. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah. That is my big motivation. It's my grandfather because he learned to me a lot of things, especially with about the life, and he told me you must respect the water to drink. They must respect the oxygen you smell. If you respect yourself, and if you not only respect this yourself, it's about to love your life. If you love your life, you can do a lot of things. You don't give up, and you try to help the other people. An interview about the CC status, I told them I want to help the community with my way. Can I? They told me yes, of course. Not strict rules to help the people. You like to help the people. In my real life, yes, and I love to help the people on my stream. Not about only the game, and about a lot of people they approach me to tell me about their real life's problems. English people, I mean people who speak English, and the Greek guys. I'm here, guys. I'm here.
That's right. We are who we are, and we are open for anybody. Open for
Yeah.
business, as it were. And I'm not talking about a hooker business, but we're open to talk, open to hang out. One thing that you touched on there that I found very good and very interesting as well is that when you are become a community contributor, you've already have set down what you've tried to accomplish on your stream already, and
Yeah.
yes, they give us codes and stuff to give back to our community for watching and saying thank you to our community. That's something that they afford us, but there are no rules. The only rule, well, there's a very few rules that have nothing to do with your content other than keeping it where they doesn't make wargaming look bad. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And you are free to do whatever you want within that guideline of hey, don't make us look bad. and that is such a freeing thing that I can go on there and I can wear a bikini and be a moron and teach it to people how to play the game, and that's something that I appreciate very much from Wargaming that they have done. So
Definitely.
yep,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, go
No,
ahead.
no. I mean, they accept me so. They accept me.
Freely.
I feel very like to be part of this family, man. And if we need something, because the guy he told me, if you need anything, if you have a problem about, you can speak with me if you want. Not because he is the community manager of us, because he a real human being, and he told me, if you need anything, and if I can help you about that in your real life or something like that, just send me PM if you want to discuss about that. It's amazing, man. You know, it's amazing.
Absolutely. And question number 8, moving on, is any tips in streaming for an aspiring streamer, somebody who wants to get into streaming, for just streaming in general, or ships streamers?
Well, be yourselves. Be honest with your viewers, definitely, because they respect you and you respect them. They are human beings. Okay, some guys, they come to your stream and they speak. Okay, we are not. I don't have the same fingers.
They troll.
You know, they want fun, as I say, about the real life problems, or because they don't have real life problems. They want to relax with us. They want to learn the game, definitely. You know, and we must respect them. And believe me, the people, they are not like the fake guys. I mean, fake. They pretending, man. And fortunately, all the people I know on Twitch, I mean, the people to follow and the people to speak, they are all crazy with their way, with a nice way, definitely. And they are there for, you know, if you need me, just send me a PM and that's it. You know, it's amazing. They can find a clan because of you. You know, it's such amazing. It's you know.
Agreed. I definitely agree, man. And question number 9, what is your biggest tips in World of Warships to a brand new player? What is your biggest tip for a new player?
The biggest tip for a new player, huh? Yeah. First of all, you must enjoy the game. I mean, the reason we play the games, it's about to relax. Okay, in competitive modes, we are angry about that sometimes. Oh, come on, the teammates, the player, they kill me, they not support me, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, okay, okay. The biggest tip for me is definitely you must learn the basics. What type of ships? What is this game? It's about ships. Not only about I press the button to download the game and that's it. You know, it's a complicated game. This is not about I take a boat, I take the Iowa, for example, I say a ship, Yamato. Okay, let's say Yamato. I turn my guns, I press the button, boom. No, it's not like that. You must very, very carefully. You must have a patience, sorry, because this game, it's not easy to learn. You have a lot of mechanics. And don't shy. Ask to the people to help you. You must find the clan definitely if your progress, you know, you must find the clan. Ask your clan mates, you know. You know what I mean.
Yeah, you got to ask your clanmates, hey man, this is what I'm doing. I need a little bit of help to get better. What do you think I should be doing? Or hey, come play
Exactly.
with me so I can watch. My biggest tip for
Yeah,
people is
don't be
to,
shy.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. My biggest tip is to pay attention to the minimap. Minimap is probably the most important information that you're going to find out there.
Sorry. You mean in-game specific? I mean in general.
No, that's a
Okay.
general. No, that was great. That was fantastic. Exactly what I meant.
Okay.
Exactly what I asked. Uh, minimap awareness is probably the most important thing that you can do. With the last name, the names on the minimap of the ships underneath them, and where they were
Yeah.
located last when they were spotted. Such good information. Knowing what you're going to happen, knowing what you're going into. If you're, say, a DD going around a corner, you know what's back there if they've been spotted. And I think that's probably the most important. And my second most important is ask fucking questions. Holy
Yeah,
shit,
exactly.
Chaos Machine, I
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
sit there, but there's a caveat to this because you have to ask specific questions. Because if you come into Chaos's channel or my channel, how do I play this game? Oh my God, that's opening up this big ass can of worms. Saying because me and Chaos right now for the next 3 hours we can sit here and we can talk about the game and how to play the game. But if you can specify what you're looking for, then I can tailor an answer to you that you will understand. And I know Chaos is the same way. And either my channel, Chaos's channel, or any other community contributor channels out there, or some of the other guys. Maybe you're on at a time where I'm not on, and maybe you're on at a time Chaos is not on. If you go in, he's over there. Chaos is on. Um, and maybe some of those guys. There's community contributors streaming all of the time, and I encourage you guys to hit those guys up first, and then, or maybe there's a guy that you speak German, and there's a German guy that's
He gets.
that's streaming, you
Yeah.
know. So there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different outlets for a new player to get information and to learn how to be better.
Yeah,
And that's what I want to encourage everybody to ask those questions. Myself, I answer questions all the time.
Look, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, go, continue.
I speak with Greek guys, definitely. Magnus Maximus, Tesparas, Abalak, they know the game very well and the mechanics. Palto, Lemonidas, Nikiforos, because we speak in Greek, you know, and I understand more easy in Greek language about some things I don't understand. Definitely the Bob's guys and my first Greek clan, the NSAF, they helped me a lot about Grekos, Diski. They helped me a lot about the mechanics. They try to learn me the game. After I meet the Bobs, I learn more things. I meet the Greek guys in Athens. I meet Magnus Maximus, the guys I say before. We speak our native language, our Greek language, our language. I fucked up, sorry, and I feel more comfortable about that, you know, because you're gonna tell me now in English, and I'm gonna say what,
Yeah, that's
you know, about
fine.
the no, I mean about the mechanic,
Yeah.
you know. I didn't know what is the salvo. I say to Grecos, what is the salvo? The salvo, my dear friend, it's this. Oh, okay.
Double click, bang.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't know that, and I study every day until now. I speak with these guys, and I told them, send to me this, send to me that. You told me you are SSA. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, tell me.
every day we learn
There's-
things. You know.
There's a lot of things in the game that I don't know. Like I'm not a numbers guy.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
a numbers guy at all. And people like Little White Mouse putting up all of those wonderful, beautiful charts that she puts up comparing
Yeah.
fire damage on all of the tier 8 cruisers, which is an amazing thing. And if you guys ever get to see that, and if she ever posts that in her blog on the warships forums, I highly encourage you guys to go check those out because they're, number one, they're beautifully done and they're very informative. if I don't know some of those answers, we as community contributors have a great resource. We can tap into the developers.
Yeah.
If it's as long as it's not an NDA thing, they are very free to tell us any information that they want us to know, or that we want to know. Obviously NDA stuff like percentages of who played this boat, how many people played this boat this rank season. That's stuff that's probably internal stuff, but so we won't get those answers. But there's a lot of good information out there, and like I said, if I don't know, I don't know, man. Let's ask the chat. What do you guys think out there? And then we kind of come up with a solution, and you can't get that if you don't ask those questions, man. So it's fantastic, and being part of the community is absolutely amazing. All right, guys, that concludes our 9 questions of averageness with Chaos Machine. You guys can hit him up at twitch.tv/ChaosMachineGR, at ChaosMachineGR over on the Twitter. Of course, I am Sir Venom IK. Twitter is Sir_Venom_IK, and my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SirVenomIK. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do right now is I need to get up and I need to go to the bathroom because I'm about to pee on myself, and I don't want to do that on stream again. So with that being said, Chaos, I leave it to you for just a couple of minutes, man, and I will be back here. So please, thank you guys so much for watching the channel, man, especially this early. We don't usually do it for another 2 hours, but I wanted to make sure that we got the Chaos in a good time so he can go to bed at a normal pace. So I'll be back here in a minute. We'll go in. We'll do our ship of the week and anything else that I've missed so far, and we'll do our Q&A session. So hang out for that, guys. I'll be right back in a couple of seconds.
I must say something now. What is my favorite ship? Jean Bart, my friend, Jean Bart. Yeah. I know. Yeah, here you are. Really, guys, thank you all. Definitely, guys, thank you all. To come here to say hello, it's a big honor for me, definitely. And thank you so much, guys, to leave me and to give me the opportunity to open my heart. This is a big thing for me. And definitely thanks to Mr. Servermov, definitely.
You had to quit thanking me, man. I didn't do anything.
You're doing a lot 4 years now for the community, man. Don't say that, please. Stop it.
All right, fine. Yes, all right. Stop it. And I'm now waving my hand. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. All right. Okay. All right. So, Chaos, do you feel a little bit more average after those questions, bro?
I feel a lot of average. I can smell the average in the atmosphere. You know?
That's right. That was the beans that I had earlier. That wasn't the averageness.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Every week I ask my guests to pick a ship of the week. Maybe they like the ship, maybe they don't like the ship. Last week the choice was the Bajoni, Tier 6 Russian cruiser, and our winner was announced. And I'll tell you that guy's winner name. His name was Barney MM2 over on the Discord. So if that's you, I've sent you your codes. I sent you 1 community contributor container and 1 set of community contributor camo codes. So congratulations for that. And so now I ask to you. Ship of the week for you, Chaos Machine. What ship would you like our people to play? Now, here's the rules, and here's what they're looking for. Anybody that comes into my Discord channel, discord.gg/SirVenomIK, Anyway, sorry about that. I had to take care of something in the chat. Discord.gg/servantofmik. And if you go into that Discord channel, there is a page there, a channel called Podcast Ship of the Week. What I need you to do is I need you to give me your XP and your game. I want your base experience and your total game stats in there. And whoever has the best game of that week in that whatever ship that my man chooses, I will give community contributor container code and a sub camo code as well. So what ship?
I think it's not fair to pick a premium one because no one has all the premiums. I hope to has all the premiums. I'm gonna pick a regular one.
Okay, yeah,
What do you
that's
think?
fine.
It's fair enough. I think it's more fair enough. Well, I challenge you play with one of my favorites ships in game.
Okay.
Tier 6 French battleship Normandy.
All right, there you go, boys. Tier 6 French battleship, the Normandy. This one has 3 guns of 4 turrets per gun. Pretty decent boat. I enjoyed playing this. This was the first French boat that I received. I have not played any of the French boats before that because I've never reset the line. But the Tier 6 Normandy was definitely fun indeed. Why is this one one of your favorite ships?
I call her the shotgun of the Tier 6s. 3
Indeed.
turrets, 4 barrels per turret. It's unbelievable this.
There you go, guys.
If I can say that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty good. I enjoyed playing it. It is a mid-range. It's a mid-range battleship. It is not a pushing boat, as your guns are kind of in a weird position on the boat, so it doesn't lend itself too well to making pushes. But if you do sit at mid-range, you can do some very, very nice damages. And HE shells on it are very good as well. So take expert loader on this one, and let's see what you guys can do. So that's right, guys. That's all you have to do is give me a screenshot of your ending screen. I want your base damage, and then I want your overall screen. You guys understand what I'm talking about? You understand that, right, Chaos?
Yes, sir. Very well.
All right, so you guys put it in there. Tier 6 French Normandy is up, and I will let you guys know who won next week when Oni the Wicked will join us next Wednesday at 7 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Oni the Wicked will join us on the podcast this week, or next week. So, all right. We've talked about everything pretty much that we have so far. There is a tech tree update. They've added some pop-up tips with the description of the main specialties of different ship groups inside each tech tree. So when you pop it up there, you will be able to get a little bit more specific information to know which side you want to go down. That's pretty much it, man. That's everything that I've got information-wise. Now I asked you earlier if there's anything else. I asked you the other day when we were talking about the podcast if there was anything else besides what we were talking about on the main portion of the podcast that you would like to bring to somebody's attention. Something that weighing heavily on your mind. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be anything.
Sorry, look, I have one idea about the karma.
Okay.
If about the karma, I think it's a great idea to give the motivation to the people about the karma. I don't know, I must send the feedback to the company about that. I didn't say something about it, but I think about it yesterday.
All right.
I don't know how, but I think things about your podcast and blah, blah, and I say, oh, karma.
Karma. Now,
to give the, yeah.
Yeah, hang on. If you guys don't know, once you hit 100 karma, or I don't know, it's 80 karma or something like that, you have reports and compliments that you can use. They're up to, I think it's 7, and then once you hit a certain number, it's 11 reports and compliments that you can send out there. Largely useless. Karma points are currently, but the reports only really matter if somebody's being a ding dong in chat. Then guys can report him for misbehavior in chat, and then they get an automatic 24-hour ban. So there's that thing, and of course people troll with that, and they use that as it's unintended, but you get the point. But all right, so tell us your idea about karma.
Well, about if you had 50 karma, if you reach the 50 karma, some Camus, like how is the daily,
Yeah.
something like that, because it's something, a game, something, a contest to people about the compliments, about, to take more free stuff. I mean, it's nice. It's nice, in my opinion. That's it. And can I say something about the chat, guys? It's a game.
Yeah.
I know it's frustrating about if somebody not support you. Don't speak about, for example, our moms or our, I don't know, our lives, or you wish to other guy to die from cancer? Are you kidding me?
Well, that's actually
Or
against terms of service, wargaming terms of service. And if they ever see that, take a screenshot of it and send it in a ticket. I encourage
I
people to send
sent
it in a ticket. Yeah.
exactly. Yesterday, one guy, unfortunately not online, he wished to me in ranked battles to die from coronavirus.
Jesus.
I sent ticket too, definitely.
Yeah.
Guys, I say this. Okay, we enjoy the game. We like the game. We love the game. That is the reason we are here to discuss this, and we are here to play the game so many hours if we have free time. Enjoy it.
Absolutely.
I know it's frustrating sometimes, but
A lot of times.
you can imagine the guy behind the keyboard. You don't know who is he, and definitely, I don't know. I don't know.
I think that's something to tout on. I mean, like a lot of the times when I get flack when I catch flack, I caught flack last night one game for being a shitty player, and we ended up winning that game because of stuff that I did. I was like, I'm not a shitty player. I know what I'm capable of. You guys are too fucking far away. But majority of the time, when I see people complain, that they're complaining that people are not playing for them or playing around them, and they're not paying attention to the entire game. They're only paying attention to what's going on in front of them. And I think that I do that a lot. I've been chat banned so many times during rank season, especially in the past. I usually just say hi to people now, and that's about it. Hey, we need to go do this. We need to go do that. We need this cap, or I try not to attack anybody anymore, mainly because it really doesn't solve anything. They're not going to change. And when you're like, hey asshole, hey Malakas. Hey Malakas, bro, you're not doing what you need to do. They put their back up and they just immediately shut off to anything that you have to say that could be constructive. And I've tried very, very, very hard to get away from doing that. And every once in a while, last night after that guy said it, I was like, you know what, just fuck you, dude. And I just muted him. I was like, I don't want to deal with this guy. And then it puts me in a sour mood. And my next game, I played really stupid, and yeah, man. So it doesn't benefit anybody.
Especially if they speak about your personal life, it's call me noob.
Well,
But
that's something. I understand different people have different feelings about their mother, and I love my mother to death. But I remember
I kill about.
yeah, no shit. I got into trouble. This is a life lesson that I learned when I was younger. I got into a fight when I was in the 7th grade with this guy who was talking about my mother. Blah 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 blah. Just your mom, your mom, your mom. And I finally had enough of it, and we went to town. And after I got home, I was expelled from school for the rest of that day, and I couldn't come back for a week or whatever for the fight. And my mom was like, "Why? Why did you do this?" I said, "Because he was talking about you, Mom. I had enough." And my mom says, "Well, what did he say? He's calling you a whore. You were a hooker. You were buying, paying, people were paying you for sex and all this other stuff." And she's like, "Man, who is this little kid? Who cares what this motherfucker says? Do you see me out there on the corner, son? No." I said, "Then who gives a shit what this motherfucker says? I don't care. It's not bothering me. That little 12 or 13-year-old kid in the 7th grade has zero impact. I'm 50 fucking years old. Who gives a shit what this motherfucker says?" And from that point on, I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. I apologize. I'll do my time. And and I come back, and motherfucker never said anything to me again because I stood up for myself. But that was besides the point. And people talk all kinds of mad shit to me about this and that, and people come into my chat. Yeah, your mom's a whore. I was like, well, yeah, eventually she was, because if she wasn't a whore at one point in time, I would have never been born. So who cares, I mean, whatever. and that's a thing that just doesn't matter to me anymore. You talk about whatever, I'll probably agree. Yeah, okay, yep. She's a dirty hoe, whatever. I don't care. And it wasn't until my mother said that that I don't care. They'd have no impact on my life. Whatever. Let them fucking talk. You know the truth. I know the truth. GG.
I feel, let me do this.
Arr. We're now, boy mateys, we're coming into the pirate area of the chat. And yes, if you guys are wondering what's on my hat, yes, it does say Long John Silver's. That's my pirate hat.
I feel like this. If somebody threat the people to love, I'm gonna be a pirate. I'm gonna pull off my sword and run. Really.
I understand. And I have a lot of respect for my mother and everything, but it doesn't bother me anymore. People say all these stupid shit, and they will say all these stupid shit just to get a fucking rise out of you. Yeah, that's right. Long John Silver's. It's a fish restaurant here in the States. So there you go. Where's the parrot?
Here it is.
You get the parrot too. That's great. So there you go, boys. Well, anything else, man? Did we miss anything? I know we didn't talk much about the IFHE changes. They're out today with 9.2. A lot of people are going to have, and this is another frustration that I have with community here, Chaos, and maybe you have this as well. I have a particular way that I like to play, and I don't think that IFHE is necessary on a lot of these boats. And when you say something like that, a majority of the people, oh no, it's mandatory. You got to have it on the Atlanta. You got to have it on this. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you could use it on the Atlanta if you wanted to, but it was never mandatory to play IFHE on the Atlanta, because you were sacrificing your overall damage for fires to get that damage from fires, or your alpha damage to get damage from fires. So I think when people say you don't need to take IFHE now on this boat, if you're comfortable playing IFHE on that boat and you're okay not setting as many fires, then take it. So don't blindly follow what I say. Don't blindly follow what Chaos Machine says. And experience these things for yourselves. IFHE changes is a very big change for this game. Honestly, it's a pretty controversial IFHE in any way. Honestly, I didn't ever think that IFHE needed to be in the game. That's my own personal opinion from back in the day. The Zows and the Hindenburgers, they always did fine damage. The smaller guns, the Atlanta, I always did really good damage in the Atlanta, even without IFHE. So I encourage people out there to take these boats out there now that you have an ability to respec your captains. Go out there, play the game with what you have now. Look and see if it makes a huge difference. If it doesn't make a huge difference, then keep it. Keep it, whatever. But don't blindly follow what anybody says. And there's no mandatory build. Yes, there are some optimal DPM builds, but do you have to be optimal every time? What do you think?
Well, the IFHC, as we know, it's about the more damage. If you have the IFHC, now after the okay, I break my mind.
The IFHE is alpha damage.
Yeah, I mean, with the patch now, because we didn't receive the new patch, you have a small penalty about to set fires on the enemy.
Right
And
now,
you,
well,
and you
previous patch
yeah,
until today, the previous patch was like -2 or 3%. Now it's -50% fire chance.
it's 50. Yeah, that is the point, my friend. That is the point, because if you want to use the IFHE, you want to make more damage, not fires. If you want to set fires to the enemy, don't use the IFHE. It's normal, I think.
Yeah, it's normal, and it's actually buffable because you put DE on, demo expert, and then you put the flags on. You're gonna get another 4% or so, which on some of these boats that have 12%, that now you're looking at 16%, and some of these boats that have 20%, you're looking even higher. You're looking at 24, 25%. So I think it's a good change. I think it's something that has been needed for a long time to kind of
Yeah.
nerf the fire chance on this IFHE, and we didn't see it sooner simply for the fact that they focused a lot of resources over the past 2 years on the CV rework, and then now that the CV rework's been out for a year, they're actually able to catch up that backlog of stuff that they wanted to add to the game, but they weren't able to. So I think this is a good change. Why is it a good change, Chaos? This is my reasoning. They took away battleship AP versus destroyers, forcing the battleships into a choice of having to shoot HE or AP. Now that they have IFHE nerf, now they're forcing the cruisers to make a logical choice. I want to do more alpha damage and set minimal fires, or I want to do less alpha damage but get potentially more fire damage in the long run. I think it's a fantastic change. It will also curb some of the fires that battleships are under. You play a lot of battleships. How many fires are you on all the time?
Oh, yeah.
And it's amazing at how many fires that I'm set on. I counted one game a while ago, 19 fires. I was set on 19 fires in one game, and I'm not talking. I'm hitting the button. I'm set on 3 fires. I'm hitting the button as soon as my immunity goes down. I'm on another 3 fires, and this is with fire prevention, guys. So it's definitely a huge shift. I'm wanting it to hugely shift the fires, and I think that when they do this, it makes fire prevention even more appealing, because now you're lowering another 10% of that fire chance.
Yeah, again,
so I think it's
again
good.
diversity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, diversity. Yeah, exactly. It's
All right, so there you go. You ready for some Q&A? Wait, is there anything else that I missed? Is there anything else with this patch that I am missing? I don't think so. We talked about IFHE. The only thing we didn't talk about is the cruiser armor change, which I'm not too happy with the cruiser armor change, because now you are making it harder for battleships to get the full pins, and they're going to bounce shells and break shells off the broadsides. And when they open up, is it such a bad thing that battleships kill cruisers? I mean, that's their job. That's their natural counter, and now they're buffing them against them. I'm not a big fan of the armor changes, but I feel that with the announcement of AP rockets coming out, that I think that this change was more toward that than protecting themselves versus battleships, simply for the fact that they don't want AP rockets to come out there and do 30,000 damage versus cruisers getting 4 and 5 citadels. But it's going to happen anyway. So, what do you think?
talk about the IFHE. It's like you give the opportunity to the players to choose gameplay. I want a fire chance or damage. It's up to you.
Yeah, that choice.
You know what I mean? You know.
All right, so there you go, boys. We talked about the Pan-European DDs coming out. We touched a little bit on that. We talked about the small land. We talked about the camos. We talked about the new rank season. We talked about the current rank season. I think that's everything that we've talked about. You ready for some questions?
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, here we go, boys. Q&A session starting up right now with my man, Chaos Machine. You guys can find him over at twitch.tv/ChaosMachineGR or at ChaosMachineGR over on the Twitter. I am Sir Venom IK, Sir_Venom_IK if you guys want to hit me up on Twitter. All right, boys, question number 1. Well, I'm not even going to number these, but coming in from Nikki Foros. says, "Hi all. Opinion on the new Russian cruisers. Why are they so broken? 1,000 meters per second velocity with a 6-second reload." I think that personally, I think that the more important thing is the radar range. Their radar range versus and their detectability. I don't care how fast this thing shoots. How close is this to me before it starts shooting? I think that these are a little bit broken. I think that they have rail guns, like all of the Russian ships do. They pretty much have rail guns that just go straight, and they're very fast, and they're going to be very strong. And when they sit bow in with the current mechanics of the game, they're going to be hard to fucking kill. So why are they so
The arc
strong?
is different. Yeah.
Because Russian biased. I don't know. It's a Russian company, and I don't put it past them to put their ships being the top, or at least what they think is the top of the board. I mean, I understand it. Might not agree with it, but I understand it.
Yeah, the arc is different because it's a heavy cells, and
Yep.
you will be visible when you shoot. Yeah.
ZXR 400 Trelo says, "I see you. If you see a Gearing or a Harry Gumbo on that destroyer, you are dead." He's talking about the small land, and yes, I mean the small land does not fight. Does not a gun bite. It's not a knife fighter. It does not go in close for things. It is a range thing. It is a torpedo thing, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. As for the 1,000 meters per second shell velocity is not new. Other ships have had it, like Triple Ace has said. The Duca d'Aosta had it, but those shells, they go out really fast, but my God, they are shitty when they come down because they go out and they lose all kinds of fucking velocity, and then they float down to the boats. So it's different because these things are coming out and they're going straight and powering through you, just like the Stalingrad does, just like the Kremlin, the battleships do. They are very straight trajectories. So the Duca d'Aostas and the 1,000 meters per second shells, they come out like a rocket, but then they just kind of fizzle out and they just kind of float down to the target, rendering some very not great results.
Oh, yeah.
Mixed results. Let's put it mixed results there. Hugo to Hell Sabastar needs to go. It makes players not play and just farm. What do you think?
And this question.
The save a star, like in ranked season, you have people save a star. He thinks that it needs to go away.
Well, yes. Unfortunately, guys. Unfortunately, this is the option if you don't find a good team, or the other team is better. It's option if you're going to save your star, because we know the amount of steel is huge, and to be honest, guys, let's face it, we play ranked battles because we want to buy definitely steel ships. I know it's frustrating, sometimes it's unfair because you make 158k and the other guy, he make a little bit more damage or have more ribbons than you, and he gonna save the star. I know it's a little bit unfair, but we need to accept it. We must accept it.
Two things. When you take away Save a Star program, less people rank out. And the reason I say that is because they have to add so many stars into the mix so people can save and lose stars and still be productive. Number one. Number two, Save a Star program is fine. What's not fine about the Save a Star program is how the experience is calculated. They took caps away from destroyers instead of caps boosting experience. They made it a multiplier on top of your damage. Well, you're a destroyer. I had a game last night in general, 150,000. We ended up catching. We didn't end up catching the cap, but I had Death Strike on a Kremlin. I had a Death Strike on a DD, and that was all the damage that I got that entire game, and I lost my star by 200 points. And that's a lot of a lot of percentage damages going into things. I think that they need to shift their focus away from some of the damage experience and put it into other things: spotting damage, tankiness. What you're actually doing. Like I sat in a game and I ended up saving my star on this one, but that wasn't the point. I sat in the cap when nobody else was around for over 3 minutes, just sitting there waiting for somebody to come up so I can make a move, and I held the team into the game, and I did not save. We won that game, but if we had lost that game, there was no way I was saving my star because I only had 20,000 damage up to that point. But I did more to hold the team into the game than anybody else, and I'm not rewarded for that at all.
Look, well, the ships have to act according to their roles and their capabilities, you know. And it's not only hookupping, you know, it's complicated, you know. And, I mean, it's because it's a competitive. And the thing is, the most important is we didn't say that. This is not clan battles. You don't speak with no one. You just type in chat, where are we going? And you say after 5 minutes, they reply to you. Or sometimes, it's 50-50. Sometimes they told you, let's make this strategy, guys. Let's go there, Kremlin go there, take this buff, stay a little bit behind Yamato because we need to survive, because you have big guns, you can overmatch a lot of ships, and so on and so on and so on.
Agreed, man. Agreed. But I think the hardest thing that you can't give rewards for intent, because there's no way to judge your intent. And here's what I mean by intent. Somebody brought up they should, if somebody's in my smoke and I drop my smoke for somebody and they do some damage, I should get a portion of that experience because I am actively doing something for my team. But the only problem with that is what was the intent of that smoke? I have typed into the channel and forgotten, typed into the chat and forgotten that it wasn't on chat, and I've popped my smoke on accident. Now, if I pop my smoke on accident and that Kremlin rolls in there and then Dev strikes a Venezia from 20 kilometers away, which will probably never happen, or very rarely will happen, should I be rewarded for that accident? No, it's very hard to reward, to judge somebody's intent on the things that they do. There is also a mechanic in World of Tanks that if you are partially capping, if you are capping something and the game ends, you get credit for partial caps. You get experience based on how much of that cap you actually think. I think that that's something very good that they could bring into the game. Me sitting there holding that cap for 3 minutes before my team got into position was very good and very good for our team. But did I get rewarded for that? No, I actually got punished for it because I was not able to get out there and do any more damage. So I don't know. There's something that has to be changed. So.
Yeah, one this except because I want to say because I forgot it. One more idea. It's about, we say about in World of Tanks, if you are in division, about the achievement, how call it, about the kills. I hope to see that in game because I see a lot of divisions the last 1.5 years, a lot of divisions in matchmaking, and it's a great opportunity to give the motivation to the people. If I say correct the word, good motivation.
Yeah, that's right.
To make a divisions, and if you kills each other, you take this special achievement. It's very, very nice for the division things.
Fantastic idea. That's a fantastic idea. I had to tell you how many times myself and Fitz and whoever else we're playing with, Gods, Mo, and all these people, we go into a game and we killed 8-10 people and we still lose the game. You know, I mean, I think that there should be that, and yeah, absolutely agree, 100%. That's a good fucking idea, bro.
It's not my idea. It's a World of Tanks idea.
Yeah, well, whatever you're bringing to that. Yeah, I don't play World of Tanks, but you get the point. But all right, Atrox says DDs used to be the most powerful class of ships in the game. People who like crapping on players, they move to carriers, and they will move to subs if they are broken. I think that statement right there says a lot about the community. And we've seen it time and time again. How many of you guys remember when the Julius Caesar was, where they were threatening, not really threatening, but they were proposing a change to move Julius Caesar to Tier 6, simply for the fact that it is very strong for Tier 5. they have said that the Julius Caesar averages more than some of the Tier 6 battleships does on its damage, and it's very overpowered.
Can you send me one, please?
You don't have one?
No.
Oh man, you should ask him. Be like, hey man, hook it up, bro. It's my birthday. Give me that Julius Caesar in my account. But anyway, but that did set a precedent to wargaming, saying that you as a community do not care about balanced ships. You only want the overpowered ships. So when things like the Smolensk come out and it's ridiculously overpowered, I think that I'm like, hey man, well you guys didn't want the Julius Caesar to change, so we get the Smolensk and it's broken overpowered, and people want the broken and overpowered ships. One of the most balanced ships in the game is the Hipper. It's really fucking balanced, but not a lot of people like to play it because it's balanced.
Prince Eugen?
Yeah, Prince Eugene. I mean, there's a lot of other ships out there that I consider that are pretty balanced, but you don't see a whole lot because they're not overpowered. And I think that that does say that goes to something in the future. CVs are a little bit broken right now. Why do you think so many people are playing them? Not because they're easy to play, because they're broken. And in wargaming, it's blind to it. And until they admit that there's a problem, they won't change anything. And I think that's sad. So either way, moving on. Jamie Dearest says Tier 10 also encourages a lot of free XP for new players, messes up matchmaking. Now, what do you think of this? Do you think giving away Tier 10 and encouraging people to use their free XP, do you think it messes up matchmaking? Do you think it's a bad thing?
You mean about the new matchmaking, you mean?
Well, I'm not quite sure what we were talking about, Jamie. If you were... let me give you what I think first. Tier 10 also encourages a lot of people a lot of free XPing. I think that wargaming has been around for this game has been around for a long time. People have millions and millions of free XP just stockpiled. And so any chance that they can get to dip into those resources that we are saving, that we are hoarding as a player, then they're going to take every opportunity to try to get you to spend that free XP. So I don't have a problem with it at all for them trying to get into our free XP wallets. Do you?
Look, the free XP, you can earn free XP easy, definitely with the special flags or the flags or operations, it's not. We speak about I don't understand the question, to be honest.
I'm not. I don't think I explained it very well either. But either way, we'll move on. Sorry about that, Jamie. If you want to ask that again, and I'll see if we can maybe explain it better. I don't remember what we were talking about. Nuts and Bolts says,
free XP, if the guy asks about to use free XP to grind the tech trees, I disagree about that, because if you spend your free XP, grind one line to not playing ever, you don't learn the ships ever. If you want collect about the research bureau to take Colbert and Ohio, and you play the line so many battles, okay, it's not bad, because you know the ships already, you know the behaviors of the ships, and it's not bad, definitely not.
No, I don't like it when people just whale the free XP through their lines and they've never played them. Now, granted, there's some people out there that have been playing the game for a long time, so they can just go into whatever and they do just fine. But for a new player coming in, if he wants to buy a whole bunch of doubloons, he still has to play. It's a hard thing to disagree with, because people can buy a Tirpitz and they can go immediately into Tier 8, play that for like 1,000 games, and then just buy doubloons and convert it over just to get to the Tier 10. I've seen that. I mean, I know people who've done that, and that's all they play. They play the Tirpitz to get free XP, and then they convert that free XP over, and then they put it in the new line that comes out. I've seen it happen many, 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 many times. Is that bad? Well, that guy's not very good player, though. He's not a real good player. but it's how he wants to play, and it's how if he wants to spend his money on it, then who am I to say no?
For me, I don't see a problem. It's personal choice, you know.
Yeah, it's your money. I'm not going to tell you how to spend it. JG Whitworth. Nuts and Bolts says the games without carriers are great in ranked. I agree. I think ranked, again, does not need to have carriers. They're too strong. Anytime that I have a carrier in there, it's miserable. Anytime that there's not a carrier, I don't care if I win or lose. I'm going to have a good time. If I win, great. If I lose, fine. Depending on how things go. All right, next, what do you think? Carriers? We've already talked about that twice.
Yeah.
Lemonitis says game needs more operations, more division members, more things for clan cooperation. The thing about operations is not enough people play operations, and that's their own fault. They don't incentivize it. After you get 5 stars, what's the point of playing them anymore? That's it.
Look, about the operations, it's I can say it's a small training to can communicate like a team. Yes, you told me right now you play with the bots. Okay. For me, the operations, it's the best way to grind your tier 6s, your tier 5s, and your tier 7s without stress. Yeah, and I hope from Wargaming to see new, and they promise that. In the future, they say about that, not the NDA. They published on forum, and they say about, yes, guys, we try to rework and to give you more new operations in the future, of course. And I'm satisfied about that. And I hope to see more new operations because it's another mode to change a little bit about your frustration, random battles all the time. You know, it's a nice. I like the operations a lot.
Especially, I like the operations as well as much as the next guy, but I don't think Wargaming sees it as an opportunity to make money. And with a lot of the things that I've seen lately, is that they are all about making that money. And operations doesn't bring anything in. There's nothing about it that screams play this or spend money on this. So I don't think that it's going to be anything super spectacular coming back. They're going to re-release some of the old operations, but like I said, man, I can't tell you. I think I played operations once in the last 3 months, and it was just because I was grinding out experience for one thing or another. During one of the directives. I don't know. It's not something that I play, and I know a lot of other people don't play it because there's no reward for it anymore. And something that we see a lot from Wargaming is that when they reward something that is not so great, people play it. But when they don't reward it, nobody fucking plays it. After the first 5 stars, maybe reset it every 3 months, and then we can get another 5 stars. You know, put another reward system in place every 3 months, and let us go back and grind through them all. I mean, that would encourage more people. But like I said, anyway, there's that.
For me, I call because we play with my brother's Bob's this, and we relax. We call it a family mode.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's see. Lemonitis says SAP is still fresh, of course, and it will be the talk of the game. I think that SAP, we were talking about SAP on this Italian battleship, with the battleship AP going into only overpinning anything anymore, then they are making a mistake bringing SAP into battleships, because it is going to do exactly the same thing that battleship AP did and absolutely knocked the hell out of DDs, and that's not what they wanted, and that's why they changed Battleship AP. But it is something new, but it's also something from the past.
And interesting.
Yeah. Trelos says, hey, Wargaming back in the days promised that the 460 guns of the Yamato would be the biggest guns in the game, and now guess what? Yashima. Well, I mean, they also said no subs. They also said a lot of things. So the fucking things changed, I guess, to fit their vision of what the game is going forward. I would like to know what their overall goal of the fucking game is, so I can see some of these changes coming forward. They just seem very out of touch with the community. They're out of touch with their own rules. But there's other things that are coming down the line that me and Chaos can't see. And I asked the question today, and they said I'm not going to release that information because anything I say after that would be NDA. And I was like, all right, well, fine. You're not going to tell me, so we have to make assumptions and we have to make guesses. We've been pretty good about guessing here, but you know, it is what it is.
And you know, the people ask new things, and they give us new things, because a lot of people say the people I know say about the Super Yamato. If you read the forums, they ask about that. I don't know what happened. I don't know really. But what I can say, it's a new thing, and I'm very curious about the submarines. Really,
I'm
I'm
curious.
very curious.
I'll tell you
Ooh,
exactly
yeah.
like I said when the CV rework was coming out. I have concerns. I have concerns about the submarines and how they're going to interact with destroyers and what destroyers are going to have to do to take out those guys.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
have
be
those
new.
concerns, but
Yeah.
you know, I reserve those, and I will spit out my concerns. But it's definitely not the end of the world. Don't get your pitchforks out. You don't have to get your you know, we're not going up Frankenstein's monster, you know, chasing him around as a mob. It's not the end of the world, and it is something that we will have to change and adapt to. And it's something that they've done over the past 3 to 4 years is they have shifted the focus of the game, or they have shifted. They have basically changed up the complete gameplay, so everybody has to relearn the game again and relearn how to integrate with the British battleships, how to integrate with the IFHE when it first came out. Now we're going to have to learn how to integrate with carriers when they made the CV rework. Now we're having to relearn how to integrate with the new IFHE change. Now we're going to have to learn how to integrate with the submarine change. So they've done something every year that has really shifted everybody's thinking about the game, and you're going to have to adapt to it. Now, me personally, I don't like change. I don't like it. I don't like it at
That's
all.
patient remains to be seen.
But you know, we'll get in there and we'll play it. If it's bad, people will leave. If it's good, people will come in. You know, it's whatever, man. People will never stop playing this game until they shut the game down.
I don't think so. I hope not.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Between
We love the
CV's
game.
damage to DDs and now this, no one is going to want to play DDs. And I think we've seen that a lot. Or he's talking about SAP on battleships. I think we've seen a lot of this. I have seen so many games lately with only 2 DDs aside and randoms. Not a lot of people play DDs anymore because it's not beneficial. It's not. A lot of them, not all of them, are feeling that they are just it's futility. It's just a futile effort to play a DD anymore, especially when carriers are so prevalent in the game, and how much damage they do, especially at the lower tiers. So you're playing tier 4 with 3 CVs, and you're in a destroyer. Holy shit, fuck you, you're done, man. I mean, there's no AA. There's not enough AA on the board to fight off 3 sets of fucking fighters or 3 sets of planes out there. And if they focus on you, you're dead. And there's nothing.
Besides the ship, yeah.
And there's nothing that you can do. So because it's so bad in tier 4, people are not going into the destroyer line and learning how to play destroyers. They're like, nope, CVs are out there. I'm not going to play them. So what does that do? When they get up down the line in 6 months or 4 months or whatever, they are deficient in DD play, so we don't have any good DD players coming up the ropes, and that's the scariest thing. Now, when submarines come out, they need to go spot, they need to go cap, they need to go hunt that DD, they need to be area of deniability, they need to hold the flank, they need to do all of these things, and they've never learned how to do any of it because they don't play at tier 4 because they got shit on by carriers. So it's I think tier 4 is a terrible place for DDs.
Besides the ship, you grind and your skills in destroyers, you know.
Yep. Gotta play them DDs, man. We gotta get you playing more DDs too, Chaos. He's like, I don't want to, man. You just told me tier 4 sucks.
You need to fight it with determination.
Excelsior says, will that battleship SAP and AP chill? I don't know. They haven't said. I'm assuming it will be AP and SAP, like the Italians, but they only showed us one, so I have no reference to say yes or no. Lemonade says, I agree on this. I think it should be more realistic. I don't know what you're agreeing on. He was agreeing on yes. Chaos Machine looks amazing, and you're a sexy, sexy man. There you go. I think it was talking about camos. Lemonade says he agrees on the camos look so great, but he doesn't like the anime camos. I was like, I don't care. I don't care what you like. Honestly, Lemonade, I want camos, period. If they're anime camos, if they're historical camos, there are, put Chaos Machine's face on the side of a fucking camo. That's a good idea. Put my average camo on the side of something. That would be dope. I mean, I'd like to have a personal camo that I could use. I think that hey, Wargaming, that's a good fucking idea, man. That's a good idea, Wargaming. Pay attention to that one.
I hope to see one camo with the unbelievable this. I'm gonna pay for this, really.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me what camos are. Some people like Lemonade. Obviously, he wants the historical camos, and by fair means. Sometimes I don't like having historical camos on all the time. So I want something to change up. Just give it a little bit of a fresh take. And so I think it'll be good. It just my camo, dude. I got it, bro. I got it right here. My camo is going to be purple and black. And then on the deck, it's going to be like a skin colored, like a pink type color, and then I have coconuts over the top of the gun mounts. Coconuts on top of the gun mounts, boys. Get it. I'm done. Next question. Hope that container flag will rise, as otherwise you will need to buy more. Flag containers are probably going to be the same. Flag containers will probably going to end up being the same because they want you to spend your flags, not collect flags. Now, flags are pretty easy to get. Like anything that you do in this game, flags are given out for daily missions, for directives, for whatever. Pick your poison on what you're going to accomplish, and they are there. So you will probably have to spend more coal if you have a stash of coal like I do. I've still got 300,000 coal. I'm not doing anything with it. I might buy some more dead flags. I don't know. Wreaking Havoc says your power level in this game as a newcomer is bad voodoo. That's pretty true. Sheely says I personally enjoy tier 5 through 7. I like 6 and 7 for the most part, depending on what I'm playing. And 8, 9, and 10. I rarely. Do you play much at tier 4 and below?
I think so.
I'm trying to remember the last time I played tier 4. It's been a long time since I played the low tiers. Unless I'm doing something special or somebody says, "Hey, I want you to play this boat." That's about it. I don't usually play under tier 5 anymore, mainly because I'm usually doing directives, and tier 5 is the low end of the limit there on directives. So, so I end up playing that just to fill up those directives. King Fada says, "Hello, I love you in Chaos, my brother." Okay. There you go. Cerberus says, tell Chaos. Cerberus says, quack. What? Drew Texas says, you're even tougher to understand. Like me, you speak Texan. He's talking about my language. Terminator says, I could use some training with a crosshair. Absolutely. If you guys, I have a video on how to do crosshairs, dynamic only. I don't play the static crosshair at all, but dynamic only. It goes into pretty basic detail about how to make it work. So that's on the YouTube channel under the World of Warships for Beginner tab.
I use the same.
Huh? Say that again.
I use the same. Yeah, I use the same.
Oh, you use the dynamic as well. I like it better. I mean, it gives you more leadway because of 30 knots. It's rated for 30 knots. So you just if the little timer says 6 seconds, you put that 6 on your little board right on where you wanted the shells to land, and you pull the trigger. AAA says, be willing to be open with others. So we're talking about, yep, absolutely. Open yourself up, and people will either like you or they will not like you. KGB Terminator also says, are they removing the John Bart? Yes, the John Bart is going away. Also, the Smolensk is going away. So if you guys haven't,
093, yeah.
9.3 next patch. So if you guys have not gotten these yet, y'all need to work on getting your coal. Need to work on getting that coal. Nikki Foro says, IFHE is worth it in my opinion only to high rate of fire ships like Harry Gumbo. Now, I agree with this. IFHE is sometimes, is it mandatory on these 100 millimeter guns? It's really hard to say yes or no. Personally, I have it on mine, so might as well. Because you just don't, they're just not going through armor. So yes, I would say IFHE on the Harry Gumbo, Kitakaze, the Akatsuki, the really small high rate fire caliber guns. What do you think?
Yeah, that is the point about the IFHE. It's about the smallest tiers, I think. I think now.
I mean, that's
if you
tier
need
10 with the
IFHE,
smaller calibers. But here, let me put this to you, Chaos Machine. How many times have you been playing, say, a Daring or a Jutland or a Z52? And how many times do you switch over to your AP when they go broadside?
All the time.
All the time, right? So that's what a lot of people don't get. It was like there's other options just from playing HE all together. Try switching over to the broadside to these. When they go broadside to you, switch over to HE or switch over to the AP and see if you can't get those pins that like you would normally get with your IFHE. There you go. Pure objective question: if all wargaming employees get coronavirus, do they get replaced by competent people? Man, that's such a negative question, man. That's such a negative question, dude. And the answer is I have no idea. Maybe they'll hire a Chaos Machine and hire myself to fix the game in the areas that we think that the game that needs fixing. It only became really useful with the introduction of some ships like the Akatsuki. If it was even in the Akatsuki was added, other ships like the U.S. cruiser line split, the light cruiser split at some point, it just spreads to everything. Well, just like everything, Battleship HE, when the British battleships came out, it was such a new concept for a battleship to sling HE. I tell you how many times I've called people shitters in the chat when, oh man, this Montana is firing fucking HE, man. God, man, he's sitting there broadside firing HE, and then there's a cruiser at 4 or 5 kilometers, and he's firing HE, and I'm like, blah. There's a time and a place for HE. There's a time and a place for HE spam.
Amato in Iraq battles.
Oh yeah.
HE, and from the first time to shooting until the time to die, and I'm wondering, dude, you have Yamato. What are you done?
Why are you shooting HE at all?
And he told us, really, guys, I didn't realize that.
Well, at least he was honest with him, and he didn't ignore you, and then you guys just think he's a shitter. But here's something to consider too. I got called a shitter playing my Yamato one time because I was not firing IFHE Yamato. IFHE Yamato. This guy was like, "This is the only way you can play this boat is IFHE on the Yamato." And I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
I was like, really, bro? And this guy was dead serious. He wasn't even trolling. I was like, are you serious, dude? Are you trolling me or are you full 100%? He's like, no, I'm 100%. IFHE Yamato all the way. I was like, you're an idiot.
Conqueror with
I
IFHE.
was like, holy crap, bro. I'm like, your guns are 457. They have the pin to pin just about anything on the board. Why not use the AP? I mean, like, IFHE on top of Yamato guns? Anyway, any thoughts on getting the U.S. battleship split and getting all these premiums instead? They could have been made into a split. I have commented about the secondary battleships, Massachusetts to Georgia, Ohio. I thought that could have been a legit line split between the two lines, but they made a fuckload of money on all of these boats, and so I'm not going to knock their choice, other than not a big fan of the Ohio or the Georgia, but the Massachusetts is pretty good.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's very good.
it's very nice ship.
What will they do different? You know what? Here's something stupid that I was saying the other day. 127 millimeter main guns on a Montana hull for Tier 10 line split battleship. There you go. All 127 millimeter destroyer guns, double mounted, 10 double mounted destroyer guns on the side of a fucking Montana hull. There's your line split. For we call it Denver. I don't care. Call it Colorado, not Colorado, but I don't know. Name another fucking state. Call it the Florida. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what it is. But there you go, guys. It's a 4-second reload Montana with 20 main guns, 127 millimeters flying out there. It's gonna have monster AA because they're dual purpose turrets. But so there you go. So there's my idea for the line split, and then you guys can take another Iowa, take the Wisconsin or something like that, and throw a whole bunch of small caliber guns on there for their main guns, and then take whatever the other North Carolina that they have and put the real small guns on that and have that shit do it there too. So
Look, if you see in Wikipedia, we have a lot of ships to see in game.
yeah, there's a lot of ships, man. Like there's something like 400 or 500 Fletcher class ships that they could just copy pasta something a little bit different to make it unique.
Yeah.
Throw it in the fucking game. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different things that they could do. But there you go. There's my idea for a battleship line split. So, all right, boys, that's it. That's all the questions I got. 175 Fletchers were made IRL. All right, there you go. 175 different options for fucking Fletchers, and you can call it whatever.
Because we speak about Fletchers, and I hope, because I speak about my country, I hope to see in the game Greek ships. We have Greek ships. Definitely the Velos. We call it Velos. It's a Fletcher class. And it's a destroyer. And we have a Georgios Averov. It's very popular. The most popular. The Andreas. It's from World War One. It can be low tier, by the way. If I forgot something from the Greek guys here, please correct me.
You know what? You know what else I want to see? Chaos.
Yes, please.
The USS Averageness. I want my own personal ship too. I want my own personal camo, my own personal ship. Now, there's a company out there. It's called the Grinding Gear Games. That they produce Path of Exile. And if you spend $1,000, if you give them $1,000, they will make a unique item in the game that will drop for everybody. Right? So maybe we can get Wargaming. Maybe we can get Wargaming to set a price, and we can have our own personal ships. Personal ships that sell to everybody. Well, what do you want? And the best part about it is that Chaos, you pay this $1,000 to Path of Exile, and you got intricate details. Okay, this is kind of what I want the boat to do. Or this is kind of what I want the item to do. Can we do this? Can we do that? And then they work with you to figure out, okay, yes, and you have final approval on it. And you say, yes, this is what I want. Oh my God, how awesome would that fucking be to pay Wargaming a couple of $1,000s or whatever it is to say, hey, I want to create my own boat and put it in the game for sale.
Oh, first of all, it's a big honor, man. To see a game with your name and
Oh, absolutely. I paid $1,000 for this. What would so sorry? One more question here, and then we'll get out of here because I know we've been going for about 3 hours and 30 minutes now. What if you had to? If they said, okay, Chaos, we're gonna make a boat with your name on it. You paid this money to us. What do you think? What do you think? What boat would you choose? What would you have it do? What would be special about this boat?
Definitely, it's gonna be battleship because my 65% of my battles it's with battleships. I like the heavy ones. Definitely, the Averov it's the best choice because I'm very proud of the history of this boat. Georgios Averov, guys. I don't care what tier it's gonna be. I want to see this boat on the game.
Yeah. You know what?
If I must told me you must sell your account, I'm gonna sell my account.
There you go. You start another one. Just start another one. Here, I'll give you my code. And you can have I'll give you my code, and you can use my code here on the NA, and it'll give you 450 ships in your port when you get there, right? There you go. So what would I call mine? I don't know what I would call mine, but it would definitely be a probably a tier 7 destroyer. Tier 7 destroyer with low American concealment. Right? I'm not talking I think the biggest problem with DDs at tier 7 is that their concealment is shit. Their concealment is shit. So I want to see an American destroyer with 5.7, 5.8 kilometer detection at tier 7. That's what I want to see.
Oh, nice.
And it'll have double gun turrets that fire slow like the Summers, like 6-second reloads. But it'll have double gun turrets, three double gun turrets because I hate single fire turrets, and it'll have the dual purpose AA, so it'll be a decent AA boat, not great. And then it'll have one set of PEDs, that goes one set of torpedoes that go. I want to say we'll give it the Fletcher Pete's 10.5 kilometers. That's pretty fair.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, and we'll slow them down. You know what? How about the Sims Torps? Let's give it another.
It's balance.
Sims Torps, you know. I think that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it, because destroyers at tier 7 are in a bad shape. Anyway, that's another story. All right, my man Chaos Machine, I want to say thank you so much for coming and joining us on the podcast. I know it's late for you, and it's getting late for me as my wife has started to cook dinner now in the background. If you guys heard that, that's what's going on. It is 3 hours, 30 minutes into this podcast, dude. I had an absolute blast talking to you, man. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Guys, you can find him over at ChaosMachineGR on the Twitter, twitch.tv/ChaosMachineGR. Go hit him up. Send him a follow. Go over there. Sub up to his channel. Support this motherfucker because he's my Malakas bro. At Sir __ Venom IK if you guys want to come hang out with me in the chat. Twitch.tv/Sir Venom IK if you guys want to have a live conversation. Chaos Machine, I just want to say thank you again, man. Episode 49 is now closing the books on it. We are done. Tell them where they can find you. Tell them why. Well, don't tell them why they can come watch you. Just tell them what you're doing, what your schedule is, and so they can come over there and visit with you like I do.
Well, guys, first of all, thank you, Sir Venom, for this honor, pleasure. It's amazing. It's something unique. You are the only streamer on Twitch or YouTuber, call it everything you like. You make this. Because you give the opportunity to the other guys to speak about the game and about the real life and all of these situations, stuff, no situations. Well, guys, you're going to find me in my home. I'm joking.
You find me in my home because we're under quarantine now, man. I wish you guys all the best for that, man. And I wish all the world the best for that, man. Just be careful. If you're an older person, try to avoid large gatherings. Try to stay away from it. So, anyway, continue, man. Where can they find you? What's your schedule? You stream mainly on the EU. You play NA server. What's the deal?
I streaming every day, 7 days per week. Depends if something happened, 5 o'clock my time until 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock midnight. The weekend I streaming in the morning, 12 o'clock my time always. You can find my YouTube or Twitter. It's exactly the same name with Twitch. Yeah, that's it, guys. And I try with my way to show you the game.
There you go. And it is a good way. It is it's not an average way. It's well better than average way. I want to say it's a Malakas way, but that's not the right word for it. It's a good way. It's a good friend. It's a good brother, man. I love you, man. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. I am Sir Venom IK. That is Chaos Machine. Say goodbye, my friend.
Love you too, man. Guys, take care, stay safe, and please don't forget to smile.
There you go. Don't forget to smile. I love you guys. We'll see y'all next week with Only the Wicked will join us on the podcast, and I can't wait for that because that's a guy we haven't talked to in a while. I love you guys. See y'all next week.